19 rugby league action, and we are good to go. Hey guys, how you going? So down PK Sport. Oh, the Sharks are going to piss me off today, aren't they? They really are. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen here today. We're going to sit here. We're going to give you a spiel about the Sharks being a very balanced outfit. We're going to give you a spiel about how the Dolphins have been putting 50 on teams recently, except for the Newcastle Knights when they did surprisingly lose to them. And then we're going to probably end up tipping a team. They're probably going to end up losing, and it's going to probably piss me off because the Sharks, a captain goes down with his ship, mate. A captain goes down with his ship. I tipped them to win the comp pre-season. They're on scam for a reason. They remain on scam. If they win this game, they probably do go to fraud alert. They probably do go to fraud alert. They go off the scam to fraud alert if they win this game potentially. But a captain does go down with his ship. You just kind of have to do it. You've got to back in what you said pre-season and just keep on buddy fighting the war whilst the team doesn't do it for you. But today, guys, the Cronulla Sharks taking on the Redcliffe Dolphins at Sharky Park. This is actually a very big game here between two teams who are in very similar positions. Actually, two teams are on the exact same amount of points in the table. However, this is from 7th down to 10th position, and there is obviously two teams in between with Manly and the Roosters that are amongst those 20-point teams. And this is a massive game. We are in the back point of the season now. We have gone past Origin. Queenslander, baby. Queenslander, the victory on Wednesday. That was absolutely huge. We had a great time here on the stream. But yeah, look, obviously this is a huge part of the season where you need to start getting a move on, especially for both these teams. Because although the Dolphins have been winning games really easily recently, and the Sharks have been not winning games recently by any stretch of the imagination. Like if you go back through the Sharks' recent record coming into this game here, this is a team that has had no Origin players. No one from the Sharks played in any Origin team this season, which is just crazy considering that this was a team that a lot of people had a lot of hype for pre-season. And not a single player is playing at Origin, and Origin period, they were losing all their games. Before their bye, they had a loss to the Melbourne Storm 30-6. They lost to the Broncos 34-28. They were down 18-0 at halftime to the Dragons, and then they did come back to win 30-18, but not an impressive performance there from Cronulla. And the week before that, they lost 40-10 to the Warriors. And before their bye, they lost to the Roosters 42-16 before surprisingly enough beating the Storm 31-26 in their last kind of big win, because the Dragons are wouldn't necessarily classify as a big win. So this Sharks team, I just have no idea how they've been so disappointing this season. They have been so disappointing, but it is what it is, and they've just got to really turn it around now. They really do. And then on the flip side, if you go through the Dolphins' recent games, they have been scoring a ridiculous amount of points, like a disgusting amount of points, especially considering they started off the season like 0-3, 0-4 to go into the year, and then they've just absolutely found some form. Now, the week before their bye, they had a 50-28 victory over the Rabbitohs, absolutely pumped them. Now, listen, the Rabbitohs are in second last position, so you do have to understand that and say, well, look, they beat them by 50, and they still gave up 28 points to a Rabbitohs team that is the second worst attacking team in the competition, just in front of the Newcastle Knights there. And they gave up 28 points to them, but they did score 50. But again, it was against second last. They did lose 26-20 to the Newcastle Knights in a really disappointing one over there at HBF Park in Perth. The week before that, they beat the Cowboys 58-4, where, look, the Cowboys are a team that have just been giving up points like no tomorrow recently. That team, they've been absolutely getting pumped left, right, and centre. So, look, it's like they got the win, and they won they scored 58 points to 4, which is a fantastic victory there. However, the Cowboys aren't exactly a big player this season. And then you go back a week before that where they beat the Dragons 56-6, and it's like the Dragons are a very hot and cold team. Sometime may be good, sometimes may be shit. This is the Dragons for you. So not necessarily hugely impressive, but you go back to the Bulldogs game where they won 44-8, and that was an impressive victory, but that was also during the Origin period, right? That was also when both teams had players out. The Dolphins had guys like Amiso out. The Dogs had all their Origin players out. So it kind of does impact your thought process on that. So the reason I speak about this with the Dolphins is because they've scored 44, 100, 158, 178, 128 points in the last 5 games that they've played, which is an absolutely Hold on a second. Did I get that right just then? 44, 56 is 100, 158, 178, sorry, 228. I knew I got that wrong for a second. 228 points in their last 5 games, which is absolutely absurd. And that is obviously including a loss there against the Knights. Whilst they didn't really concede many points at all against the Dogs, they didn't give up many points to the Dragons and Cowboys, but in their last 2 weeks, they have given up 26 points and 28 points. So their defense is faltering a little bit, but their attack is obviously still flying. But let's get into the 2-team lineups here today, guys, and then we'll get into the ladder, and then we'll get into the chat and see what you are saying. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. We are on our way to 40k. We are nearly out. We're nearly at 35,000 actually, which is pretty cool. But we are on our way to 40k by the end of the year, hopefully. So if you haven't subscribed yet, big old hit that sub button. But all right, the Sharks come to this game from 10th position. The Dolphins come to this game from 7th position, and this is at Sharky Park in Sydney. There are no ins, outs. There's no changes here. The Cronulla Sharks roster since their last game. The fullback is William Kennedy, with the wingers being Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Mulatalo. Centres are Jesse Ramian and CSF Talakai. You got the 5'8", which is Braden Trindle, and the halfback is Nico Hines. These guys need to have a big game today. The front row forwards are Adam Fanor-Blake and Oregon Kafusi, with the number 9 being Blake Brayley. You go to the back row of Britton Nakora and Teague Wilton, with the 13 being Cameron McInnes, who is the captain. Then you go to the interchange, Jesse Calhoun, Toby Rudolph, Braden Hamlin-Ueli, and Billy Burns comes actually in from the 18th man into the interchange. They drop Daniel Atkinson to the 18th man reserve when he was originally the 14, and then Craig Fitzgibbon is the coach. Every week, I say, very balanced lineup, but that obviously has been decimated. That has been decimated in regards to the confidence that you have in this Cronulla Sharks lineup for a long time so far this season. For a very long part of this season, there was a lot of confidence, and then now there is absolutely zero confidence in this team. It really is strange because they do have a great team on paper. Mulatalo and Katoa, then again, New South Wales fans will know about how paper works, but Katoa and Mulatalo are great wingers. Ramian and Talakai, solid centres. The halves of Trindle and Hines. You know, Hines is one of Dally M. Trindle plays in the Indigenous All-Stars team. The front row forward of Adam Fanor-Blake is incredible. Blake Brayley is a great player. Britton Nakora, Cameron McInnes, you know, international for New Zealand, and the Cameron McInnes has played Origin level before. You know, these guys, this is actually a really solid team, but it just hasn't been working for them this year. It just has not been working for them. And considering that most people had them for a top 4 finish, I had them for first place finish, and they're currently in 10th position. It tells you why they're on scam right now, because they scammed us. They absolutely scammed us, Dad. They scammed us in regards to having confidence on this Sharks team. So, look, the captain goes down with the ship. However, it's just odd that this Sharks team has really been all over the shop in 2025. Now, the ins here for the Dolphins, Harrison Graham and Sean O'Sullivan, with the outs being Hamiso Tabuafido not backing up from State of Origin on Wednesday, and Cody Nikorima. The fullback was originally the winger, Jake Avarillo. He pushes into the number 1, with the wingers being Jermaine Asako and Tavita Nafahu. I feel like this might be a debut here. Comes in from the 20th man on the roster. He comes in to be the starting winger. And then in the centres, you've got Max Fine and Herbie Farnworth. The 5'8" is Sean O'Sullivan. Halfback is Isai Katoa, who is the captain. He's been having an incredible season. Is genuinely a chance of winning the Dally M. I just don't know what he was on going into behind closed doors, because obviously Luke Metcalf was on top and James Tedesco's up there, who I actually think more than likely probably gets it considering the Roosters set up there. But with that being said, Isai Katoa honestly deserves it so far. He has been, for me, one of the best players in the competition, if not the best player in the competition so far this season, because even when the Dolphins were losing, I still thought he was playing really good football. But Isai Katoa, he's the captain in the halfback. The front row forwards are Francis Molo and Orblix Tawa. Comes off the bench. He's starting now. And then Jerry Marshall King is the number 9. The back row is Kulikefu Funafiuyaki and Oren Keeley, with the 13 being Kurt Donahue. The interchange, Mark Nichols drops from that starting spot to the bench with Elliott Lemielu, Ray Stone, and Josh Kerr. And the 18th man replacement is Harrison Graham. The coach is Christian Wolf. Like I said, this Dolphins team has been putting massive scores on recently. However, it hasn't been against absolutely top-tier competition outside of that game against the Dogs. But again, that was a very depleted Dogs and Dolphins rosters there. So it's like when they're full strength, I would have loved to have seen that. Outside of that, the Dolphins are taking on teams like the Dragons, teams like the Cowboys have been giving up absolutely massive points. They lost to the Knights there and gave up 26 points to a team that, you know, has been dreadful on attack this year. By far the worst attacking team statistically. And then also beat the Rabbitohs. So look, I'm still waiting for them to really confirm it against a really big bopper, full strength bopper, the Dolphins. However, you know, the Sharks aren't necessarily that. They should be that based on what we thought pre-season. They should be that based on what this club was trying to achieve this year and what their goals were. But they just aren't. But a captain goes down with the ship, mate. So, look, I think the Dolphins, they've got a really good chance to keep on with the form here. But I think this is desperation time for Cronulla. I think it is absolutely desperation time. And, again, it's desperation time for both teams. But I just think the Dolphins have a better chance of bouncing back from if they lose. I think they have a better, more confident chance of bouncing back from a loss here than if the Sharks lose this game. I think there is way more pressure for Cronulla to win this game. The Shark Park is not necessarily, a staple point for a victory for the home team. It just hasn't been for a very long time now. Again, they haven't won a home final game there since like 2008. So it's not like Shark Park is a menacing ground for teams to come to. But the Sharks I feel like they need a win more than the Dolphins did today. They need it, and if they don't, it's time we just give up. If they don't win this game here today, I think it is time we give up all hope of Cronulla, and I think their season. It's not like it's done because they're still around that top 8 battle. They'll still only be 2 points away from the top 8. But it's like if you can't pick yourself up here after a bye against a team without their best player, well, one of the best players in Hamiso. But if you can't pick yourself up here, Cronulla, then I will officially have given up on you for 2025. So I'm going to tip them. I'm going to say 1 to 12, especially with the loss there of Hamiso and also Cody Nickerim in the 5-8. I know O'Sullivan comes in and Katoa has been fantastic, but I'm going to tip him. They should be the underdogs in this game. I don't know what the odds are, but they definitely should be the underdogs. I guess this is an underdog season. But look, I'm going to tip them 1 to 12, and we'll just, they can feel free to disappoint me yet again this season, but I will go Sharks 1 to 12 here in a surprise. Now, in regards to the ladder, you've got the Dolphins on 20 points. They are equal with Manly, the Roosters, and also the Sharks. But Manly do have a bye this weekend, so Manly will go up to 22 points. So the Dolphins are actually in 8th position right now. Now, the Dolphins are on plus 162, so their points differential is absolutely incredible. The only team that beats them is the Storm. Nobody else is even close to them. The Storm are on 202, they're on 162, but they're well behind them. Now, if the Dolphins were to win this game, they would jump back above Manly into 7th position. They'd jump above the Panthers, who are on 21 points, into 6th position. Then there's the Broncos, who is in 5th position. There's a gap between 5th and the top 4 right now. That can be brought back down, depending on how, the Dogs and the Warriors fare over the next couple of weeks, especially the Warriors with their change from Metcalf to Tanner Boyd. But the Broncos on 22 points with their plus 68. The Dolphins would also jump them again with that points differential, and they would jump into 5th position. However, the Broncos play the Titans on Sunday. The Panthers play the Eels, I think, on Sunday too. It could be tomorrow though, but this weekend. And look, I would expect probably both those teams, and the Panthers and the Broncos, to win their games, respectfully, right? So I would assume that the Dolphins, with a win here, would probably stay in 7th position, and then they'd just obviously have to hope for an upset in those 2 other games. Now, if the Dolphins lose this game, again, Manly already above them with their bye, so they would go into 8th position. The Roosters, they play the Dragons. That's a very tough game to predict, actually, because they're both very similar as well. But say the Roosters won that game, then the Dolphins would drop into 9th position, and also Cronulla would obviously have the 2 points, so they would go above them too. So the Dolphins would drop into 10th position. They can't go any lower than that though, because the Dragons are the only team that can get onto 20 points as well, and they've got a points differential of minus 49. So not even remotely close to where the Dolphins situate. So I assume the Dolphins will finish in 7th this week if they win, but if they lose, I would probably say they finish off in, well, it'd be a minimum of 9th. A minimum of 9th, because the Sharks and Manly will go above them with a loss. It would just come down to the Roosters-Dragons game. So they'd either be 9th or 10th with a loss, but 7th more than likely with a win, unless there's a surprise in the Broncos, Titans, or Panthers-Eels games. Sharks, on the other hand, they're on a little bit more of a nerve-wracking point because they're on minus 4 with the points differential, which is just not good enough, man. If they win this game, they would jump above the Roosters and they would jump above the Dolphins into 8th position. They would also jump above the Panthers into 7th position because they've got the 21 points there. However, the Manly Seagulls have a points differential of plus 58 and the Sharks have a points differential of minus 4. So that means that the Sharks would have to win this game by 62 points or more to go above Manly, which just simply isn't happening. If that happened, the Dolphins would be confirmed fraud alert. Absolutely. So look, if the Sharks win this game, they would more than likely be putting themselves into 7th position. No, yeah, 7th position. Yeah, 7th position because Manly would be in 6th, and then that bye is really messing with my mind here. But then obviously it would come down to the Roosters in their game against the Dragons. But the Roosters are only on plus 14. So if the Sharks were able to win this game by, say, like 24 points, and then the Roosters only won by 2 points against the Dragons in a rivalry game there, then the Sharks would still be able to go back above them. But still, that -4 is really concerning. If they lose this game, however, they probably will stay where they are. I don't think they drop off. The Dragons are in 11th position on 18 points, but they've got a -49 points differential. Oh, give me 1 second here. Hold on. My nose is all over the shop. Give me 1 second here. Dear me. Give me one. Sorry guys. Sorry, we're back now. That was all over the shop. Wow, it's quite hot here in Vietnam today, to be fair. So I'm just sweating galore. But the Dragons are on -49 points differential, and the Sharks are on -4. So say that the Sharks lost by maybe let's go 20 points. There'd be a -24. The Dragons would still need to win by like 26 points. So I just don't think the Sharks will be dropping off. They probably would finish off the weekend in 10th position. They probably would finish off the weekend regardless in 10th. But there you go, guys. That's the little bit of a preview here for this game. Obviously, let us know in the chat what your thoughts are. The Sharks are in the field, so are the Dolphins. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And, yeah, geez, I'm all over the shop right now. I am all over the shop. Let's get this chat up. There we go. All right, let's move this bad boy across. Look at Ree with the $8 donation. It says, thank God it's Friday. We made it. What a hectic week. I'm going on the scammers to win for Bronx benefits only. Well, I don't know. Like I said, Captain goes down with his ship. Captain goes down with his ship. I went all in on the Sharks pre-season, so, buddy, I don't know. I reckon they can still find a way here, but it comes down to realistically how the Dolphins get on without Hamiso, but also how Isai Katoa goes. The Sharks have kicked it off, the Dolphins with the ball at 10, and it'll be now second tackle at 15. But thank you very much for your donation, Olivia. Nega says, Sharkies win this one. Lagan Borsak says, when I seen that Jethro Renakama is debuting for the Dogs and that Murray Talangi is playing at 5'8" tomorrow, I dropped to my knees in glory and happiness. Murray Talangi is playing 5'8", sorry? Is that true? Murray Talangi in the 5'8"? No. Really? That is odd, man. Wow, Murray Talangi is, well, it's not confirmed, but, like, wow, Murray Talangi going from the wing into the 5'8" position. Obviously, Dearden's not playing because they've got, oh, no, Dearden is playing, so it's Clifford the one who's out. Yeah, Jake Clifford's one who's out. Damn, that's really odd there. I never would have thought that would have been the change. I would have thought, if anything, they would have put Scott Drinkwater there and then maybe, if anything, put Murray Talangi to the fullback to cover. I don't know. But that is a really odd thing to be looking there on the team list. But it's going to be third tackle now for Cronulla, and they're going to be at the 45 on the Dolphins side of the field. Great starting set here for the Sharks, and Blake Brayley with a great run now, 30 metres away on 4 tackle. Damn it, it is so warm right now. I've got the aircon on and everything. It is so warm. Maybe that's just like blowing hot air out at the moment. I don't know. Teague Wilton now at the 25, and it's going to be fifth tackle. Larkin says also, what's your word on the Des Hasler situation with the players? Well, you're very well aware that I'm not going to be speaking about that. So that's going to be knocked back here from the Sharks and then knocked on. So Dolphins will get the ball and then they'll flick it out quickly and then they'll be taken down to the 15 on first tackle. Mitchell says, beating the Dolphins isn't for everyone. Yeah, no, definitely not for the Titans. No. Definitely not. Aloya Elikana says, let's go the Dolphins. Ibrahim says, Hammer feels bad for beating New South Wales so bad he'll lay off. Yeah, exactly right. You know, like the Blues lost on Wednesday in State of Origin, and the Blues lost in the AFL last night to Brisbane as well. So it's been a tough day, tough week to be a Blues fan. Tough week to be Blues. Thank you, Jay, for letting me know about the scoreboard, mate. Wow. Jay's doing his job. Jay is doing his job. Big Nanas Plaza guy over there. Big Nanas Plaza. But all right, that's going to be the Dolphins now who get this ball to the 35 on the Sharks side of the field. Off to Isai Katoa. And Isai Katoa puts this one down to about the 15 where Mulatalo, Fortnite boy, grabs it at the 20 on first tackle. Jerry says, who do you got winning? Look, I do feel like the Sharks are going to get an upset here, but it could easily go the complete opposite direction. Like, if the Sharks get beaten and beaten well here, I've given up on their season. I would have given up on it. That's a penalty to Cronulla, though, at the 25. However, you know, this point of the year, you do see a lot of teams go through massive slumps. Now, the Sharks have been in a slump for a very long time. Well, it's been weird. They were, like, okay-ish at the start of the season, and then they went through a really good run where they won, like, 5-6 games in a row, and then beat the Storm 31-26, and then since then have just been absolutely decimated in regards to their confidence and can't win a game to save their lives, or even struggling against the Dragons, down 18-0 at half time. I get they came back, but it's the Dragons. But a lot of teams at this point of the year do struggle. The only thing that really differentiates the Sharks from a normal Origin slump is the fact that the Sharks had 0 Origin players in. So it really didn't make any sense. It made no sense why they were struggling so heavily. And they even lost to a Roosters team, with a full-strength Sharks team. They even lost to a Roosters team that had 5 of their Origin players out by about 40 when it was at Gosford. So it's been a really confusing season for Cronulla. Really confusing season. Brocky Sports, a lower son. Get around you. Jared says pretty excited for Tanakaz. Yeah, get around my boy Tam Boyd. Get around it. Is that game tomorrow? I'm looking forward to it. Will Kennedy, he'll be taken down 11 metres out now from the Dolphins line. So, look, I'm tipping the Sharks here in an upset, a bit of a boil-over, but it shouldn't be too much of a boil-over, but it would be in the context of the season so far. And Jermaine Asako with a great grab, and he'll take this ball down now at the 15 on first tackle. Dadsmate says, the Aura, Jacob Kiraz they've put Talangi to 5'8". Yeah, well, Jacob Kiraz, the old 18th man for New South Wales, if he was on, do you reckon you win? You reckon you win, Daz? You reckon that changes it around, buddy? You reckon? I don't know, mate. The Aura, there was no Aura in New South Wales on Wednesday, mate. And he was there. Dazmate says, so you're saying it's normal for teams to be in slumps this time of the year, therefore remove the Dogs from fraud watch. Listen here, buddy, you're the one who asked for them to go into fraud watch, Daz. You were a part of the group of Dogs fans last week who were telling me to put them on fraud watch. I was a little bit hesitant too because they had so many players out. Broncos did too. I was just like, I don't know, they both got players out, a little bit concerned. And you Dogs fans, you were the one who begged for it. So what do you mean taking my fraud watch when you guys were the ones who peer pressured me? I'm an innocent little man. Innocent man over here. Oh, that's 1-on strip from Happy Farmworth. And the Dolphins now will have the ball first tackle 15 minutes out. You guys asked for the fraud watch on Dogs. And I caved to the peer pressure. I said, you know what, if Dogs fans are thinking it, well, I'm not going to fight it. Second tackle now for the Dolphins at the 9. It was a great 1-on-1 strip there from Herbie Farmworth. I go right-hand side. And now Francis Molo, he'll be 8 metres away on third tackle. 6 minutes into the game here. Marshall King, they go to the right-hand side. Isai Katoa flicks it underneath. And Fenimfiwayaki is going to be 3 metres away on fourth tackle. Sharks have been a great defense for a few years now, but this year they've not been too red hot on the old defense, especially not recently. Fifth tackle now for the Dolphins, 5 metres out. They give it to Katoa, and that wasn't the play there from Isaiah. That wasn't the play. So the Sharks will get the ball here at the 5 on a switch over. The Sharks this year have given up 370 points. Now that is the worst defense in the top 10. That is the worst defense in the top 10. That's obviously worse than the Newcastle Knights, who are one of the better defensive teams in the comps. They're actually pretty close to giving up the same amount of points as the Eels. So the Sharks are actually quite literally in 10th. They're quite literally in 10th for defense. They're 11th. They're 11th for defense, even though they're in 10th position. And then attacking-wise, it hasn't been that great either. And that's going to be a penalty here to Cronulla coming out of their own lines. They'll be 28 metres out with the penalty. Attacking-wise, they've scored 366 points. Now, the Roosters have scored more. Manly have scored more. The Dolphins have scored way more, obviously. Panthers are on 322, so they haven't scored too much. The Warriors also have their attacking woes. They're at 321. The Bulldogs have had their attacking woes. They're at 354. Broncos have scored a lot, the 420, sorry. Storm at 485, and the Raiders at 462. So the Sharks are probably situated around 8th there, but is there any teams below them with more? No, there isn't. So they're probably just around edging that top 8. For attack the Sharks. Now, first tackle here for the Sharks. They're 35 metres away from the line. They go Nico Hines, then to Oregon Kafusi, and Kafusi is going to get the offload away. Cameron McInnes, Adam Fanua-Blake, and Adam Fanua-Blake is going to be 20 metres out on second tackle. Lagan says the Sharks are favourites, not underdogs. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. What? How are the Sharks favourites coming to this game? Based off of the form of the Dolphins recently and the form of the Sharks recently, like what? Nico Hines nearly breaks through, 5 metres away from the line, fourth tackle. Blake Brayley off to Trindle. Trindle fakes the pass. He had the pass for Nikora, but he didn't get it to him. Fifth tackle, 4 metres out. If Nikora gets that ball there, that would have been a try. Out to Nico Hines, and Hines will score himself out of the right-hand side. Out of the right-hand side, and Nico Hines will score and do a celebration for try to Lions, 4-0 here with a kick to come to Cronulla. Short side play there, too easy. And like I said, the Dolphins have given up a lot of points recently. They've been scoring a lot of points, but they've also been giving up a lot of points. 26 points to the Knights the other week, and I think it was 24 points to the Rabbitohs, or 28 points, was it? Let's quickly go back and have a look here. I think it was 28 points to the Rabbitohs. Round 18, they didn't play. It was a bye. Round 17, the Dolphins gave up 28 points to the Rabbitohs, yeah. So it's like they're scoring 50, but they're also conceding quite a bit. So if you go and have a look at the defense of the Dolphins, they've given up 316 points this year, which is actually pretty damn well good. Like, it's pretty good. It's not as good as the Storm or the Bulldogs. It's just a little bit behind the Warriors. It's just in front of the Panthers there. But they're probably about 5th position, or they're just behind the Knights. They're probably about 6th position or so on the defense, which isn't actually that bad. It's just the last 2 weeks when they've given up the 26 to the Knights and lost 26-20, and then, conceding 28 to the Rabbitohs, even though they won 50-28. That's where you start to look at their defense a lot more. But it's only been the last couple of weeks they've been starting to give up quite a few points, even despite that really slow start of the season. Damn, Nico Hines would have been paying a lot for being first try scorer. Mitchell says, I heard Boyd will forfeit because he's too scared of Fanua Pole. Mate, Mitchell, don't you even think, consider, or mention or utter the words Tanner Boyd is scared. Tanner Boyd is the destructor. Tanner Boyd, Nico Hines here from the sideline, will get it in just inside the post. He will make it 6-0 for the Cronulla Sharks. 10 minutes into the first half here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. 30 minutes to go of the first half. But that's a really nice kick there from Nico Hines to take the lead up 6-0. But Mitchell, when we're talking about Tanner Boyd, we're talking about one of the GOATs. All right, we're talking about, you're thinking Cameron Smith. You're thinking Billy Slater. You're thinking Jonathan Thurston, mate. And Tanner Boyd is probably better than all three of them combined. So don't you ever think that Tanner Boyd is scared, because he does the scaring, mate. He does the scaring. My goodness me, Mitchell. You got to start using that old noggin of yours, son. Come on. Dasman says we flog Queensland if he's on. I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. Flog is not in the New South Wales vocabulary unless they're talking about themselves. So New South Wales will bring this ball out through Ogun Kafusi to the 15. Lagan Ballsack says, the first Origin try that Zach Lomax let in, Kiraz wouldn't have let that in. Listen, I'm not going to fight it, to be honest with you. I'm not going to fight it. Lagan says, home ground advantage, I guess. Oh, yeah, because the Sharks have been so incredibly spectacular at home for the last 20-odd years. Shark Park is a fortress, mate. Fortress, just without the fortress part, but it is actually a stadium. It is a stadium, so we do give him that. Shark Park is technically a stadium. Good run here from Blake Brayley. He'll be at the 45. This is actually looking like a really good start for the Sharks, and they haven't been great in first halves recently. Haven't been great at all recently, but first half specifically, they've been really underwhelming. They've come in with a bit of fire in them today. Like I said, the pressure was on them, and the Dolphins will be taken down here at the 15 on first tackle. Skunkle says, feeling in a charitable mood, and I remember NRL replays from the other night, gets a number between 1 to 10. That's a really fun game. That's a really fun game he's doing up there, Skunkle. Oh, he said 6. Oh, wow. Well, there you go. 6. What a number. Third tackle now for the Dolphins. They'll be at 22. Did he just do a Fortnite dance move? Cringe. Well, it's donated to charity, so, like, honestly, I don't really care what the players do. Just celebrate something, even if you have to do bloody anything. Just literally do anything. Oh, good run here from Marshall King, because the markers got called not square, so fifth tackle now for the Dolphins at the 45 on the Sharks side of the field. Lagan says, Tanner Boyd is the toughest bloke of all time. Has never been scared in his life, besides when Kickout charged at him in 2024. Nah, that was just chucking a dog a bone, mate. No, Tanner was just, really allowing... Oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty for high contact there against the Dolphins. So the Sharks getting a few penalties early doors here from Adam G. And it will be Sharks getting a penalty from 20 metres out of their own line. No, Kickout... The only reason that's a soft penalty, but it's technically correct, but it's a soft penalty. Kickout still to this day remembers the day that Tanner Boyd allowed him to have a good game, just because he's too good. So he wanted to tell everyone, he wanted to be humble, just allow a little bit of pressure to come off of him in regards to being the greatest player of all time. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to start thinking. Michael Paul says, are there 9 rounds to go and 18 points that makes or breaks for teams in the top 10? Okay, let's use commas next time. In the top 10 of the ladder and team on the bottom. Okay, no, I want you to go, Michael Paul, I want you to do me a favour. I want you to restructure that comment from Ugandan to English. We're going to need to restructure that coming from Ugandan to English, because we do not actually speak Ugandan here on the channel, funnily enough. No, we're not African. So Blake Brayley here at the 15. He gives it off to Braden Trindle. Trindle then off to Cesar Talakai, and Talakai runs it to about 10 metres out. Good post contact. He's 5 metres out. 4 tackle. Oh, they're still going. He's 2 metres out. He's still going here. And now he'll be held 1 metre away from the line. The post contact there from Talakai was immense. Blake Brayley, no, that was a slow play. The ball, that wasn't fantastic. And Nicho Hynes, he'll run it himself here. He'll be 4 metres away from the line on fit tackle. What a run from Talakai, mind you. Blake Brayley to Trindle. Trindle goes at himself, short ball, Teague Wilton. He can't get the offload away. Then he gets the offload away. It went backwards. It's fine. It's still alive here. It's still alive. Nicho Hynes then goes back to the short side. Why? They give it to Molotalo. Molotalo kicks it back on the inside. Oh, but it will be too hard. And it will be a 7 tackle set coming up for the Dolphins. 7 tackle set for the Dolphins. Highlands fan says, hey, no, hold on. You got to be careful about talking, because are the Warriors playing at home this week? Yes, they are. You can talk this week, Highlands fan. You are allowed to talk this week, because you did tell us early on the season you only support them when they're at home, not when they're away. So luckily the Warriors are playing the Tigers at home this year. But the Dolphins will get their first penalty of the game. At the 45 on the Dolphins side of the field, the Dolphins will get their first penalty of the game. Mitchell says, even the all-time greats get scared sometimes. No, not Tanner. Not Tanner. Not Tanner. No way. Damn, man, I'm all over the shop. Joseph says, hello Joseph. The game says, as a Sharks fan, we are getting good calls at the moment. Well, it's 3-1 penalty count, but with that being said, like, technically it was a penalty with that high contact, but it's like it was soft. Logan says, yeah, nah, mate, Boyd was controlling kick out like them bull riders with the red blanket. Exactly right. See, you're starting to get it now. You've been here long enough to start understanding and start to click on. Exactly right. Dolphins right-hand side. Good passing. Jermaine Sarko, he sets back onto the inside. He'll be taken out of the 10. Second tackle. That was some really good quick passing from the Dolphins. Out to Jake Averillo. Averillo across now to Isai Katoa. And good rush-up defense there from Katoa, but he misses the tackle of Farnworth, and Farnworth will now be back at the 10. Third tackle. Adam Fanua-Blake with the tackle. They go to the right-hand side. Here's a chance here for the Dolphins again. 4th tackle. They've been down here a couple of times now. 4th tackle for the Dolphins, 3 metres away. And short ball, crash play. Can't get it done, though. Cannot get it done. They're going to be 3 metres away from the line, fit tackle. The game is why is all talk about Tanner Boyd. Why is there not enough talk about Tanner Boyd is a real question. Also know how you spell his name. And Dolphins catch it, but take it down 3 metres out. That was a really nice grab there. Waited for him to land on the ground and then actually pulled him to the ground before he got away. So that will be Sharks ball here at the 3. They're good defense so far. Olivia says, thought it'd be nice because you say hi every stream. Get around Colin. What a man. Get around Colin. Who doesn't love Colin? You lose the sniffy jar, have you quit cold turkey. Mate, I got it right here, buddy. What are you thinking? That's actually a good idea. I probably should use this right now. It was funny. I had it out the other night, and someone here in Vietnam was like, is there nicotine in that? I'm like, mate, this is nicotine in this? There's no nicotine. This is a herbal inhaler. It's not like we're not smoking cigarettes here. We're not sniffing tobacco. We're not sniffing any nicotine here. It's just a herbal inhaler. Nicho Hynes now will get this ball to the 45 after a great offload there with the Sharks. It'll be 4th tackle. Games' voice cracked. No, you cracked your voice. Adam Fanua-Blake, he'll be 33 metres out from the line. Ibrahim says, why'd you lie to him, mate? Didn't lie to him, mate. Didn't lie to her. Nicho Hynes will kick that ball into the corner. Good chase here from the Sharks. And the Dolphins will get the ball here at the 10. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, you think it's pure nicotine, do you? You think this herbal inhaler is pure nicotine, do you? Dear me, we'll take it up with Thailand. Then take it up with me. Wasn't my fault. Wasn't my fault. Take it up with the country of Thailand. So 3rd tackle, and it'll be the Dolphins at the 15. Not making a great deal of meters on this set so far. Odd Poppet says, ahoy, glad someone's covering the game. Well, Odd Poppet says the thing is that we cover every single game here. And we've covered every single game here for quite a few years now. So, you know, we're always here, mate. We're always flying. Fit tackle now for the Dolphins at the 35. And Marshall King will go right inside to Isai Katoa, who will whack that ball down into the corner, where Will Candy picks it up at the 20, the end of the 25, the end of the 30. Mitchell says, let's all talk about the glorious King Jojo for feeder instead. Oh, yeah, no, he's done it deliberately. He's done it deliberately to you, Skunkle. Because he knows he can't get timed out by you. But the thing is that I could do it, Mitchell. See, I could do it. But Jojo Fafita is the king, mate. He is the king. So third tackle now. And Blake Braille will get off to Nico Hines. Then Jesse Ramian, sorry. Ramian's going to be fourth tackle about 40 metres out. But look, I'm always happy to talk about Jojo Fafita. What a glorious man. What an absolute glorious man that man is. Fifth tackle here at the 30. McInnes back to Brayley, then to Braden Trindle, and Trindle here at the 25. He kicks us up here for Fortnite boy Molitalo. Oh, he's been kind of bounced off there. It's gone backwards. He needs to get out of the in goal here, though, and they will not. So the Dolphins will get the ball in the in goal. It got dropped backwards there from the Dolphins, a little bit of a scuff, but it will be a dropout coming from Les Dolphins. Oh, no, Lagan, what have you mischieved yourself into here? Yeah, no, that is a mischief. Yeah, you have mischieved yourself into that one. Puppet says, I'm subbed and do pop in from time to time. I'm subbed to multiple commentary channels, so I normally click the first one I see. You know, you're right, man. you're fine. It's fine, man. It's fine. You know, if you're not watching, it hurts my feelings, but it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, mate. What are you doing, you know? So Isaiah Katoa, he will get this one down to about the 15, where it was a short dropout, but Kennedy was all over it. Dasmit says, knock on Sud on your dog. Fun fact, Daz, when it goes backwards, it's usually not classed as a knock on. And it's also not Sutton who's refereeing today, Daz, mate. So not only is that the wrong referee, but it was the wrong suggestion from you. The second tackle now, 5 metres away from the line for Cronulla. Blake Brayley. He'll give it to Nico Hines. Hines at the 10. Not the play there. I didn't think that Adam Fanor Blake's run was the play. Maybe the next tackle. But anyway, fourth tackle, 5 metres away. Sorry, it's third. No, it is fourth tackle. I was right. Out to Braden Trindle. Dolphins defense in tatters. But that pass is also Grassy McGrass all day. That is Grassy McGrass all day, son. Braden Trindle passes that ball not only to Rosette, but, mate, that is a big play from Grassy McGrass. So Dolphins will get the ball here at the 10. The Dolphins defense was in tatters as well. I actually think Braden Trindle, if he steps inside there, he had a really good chance of a try himself. That's probably what confused him a bit. Mitchell says that's for calling New South Wales New South. Who said New South? Yeah, get that one in your mouth, New South. How about that one? There's no New South in your mouth. Penalty to the Dolphins here. Penalty to the Dolphins to the 15. And it was Trindle as well, so he makes a mistake and then he gives away the penalty. 20 minutes gone to the first half, 20 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. That is a high tackle there against... I think it was. I don't know if it was Trindle or not. Yeah, if you call it New South, you get that one in your mouth. Matt Soul Sport TV says, hey mate, who's your favourite referee in the game and why should Ashley Klein? Well, I'm glad you got timed out for that comment. I'm glad. Wasn't me, but probably would have. Probably would have. Ashley Klein. Don't even start me on him. Don't even start me on him. You know what I respected though on Wednesdays? That New South Wales fans could admit and see that he was quite literally, really trying to get New South Wales back into that game. Like, there was some of the calls, like even Todd Carney and Mitchell Pearce on their podcast were talking about it. Like, those calls in the second half, like, was so... Oh, man, he wasn't even hiding it. He wasn't even hiding it to get New South Wales back into the game. He was not even hiding it. It was actually insane to watch. It was insane. He was just making it obvious. So, fourth tackle now for the Dolphins at the 30. He's an absolute clown. So, the Dolphins now at the 30 on fourth tackle. Jay Cavarillo, he'll spread this ball to Max Fine. And Fine is going to be 10 metres away now from the line. Sorry, 20 metres away from the line. Back into Isaiah Katoa. Katoa at the 20. He steps and not the play again from Katoa. He will be taken down to the 20 without getting the kick away. I really hope that Katoa doesn't start to buy into his hype. Just keep on playing your game of rugby league, mate, because your hype has been deserved. But just keep on playing your own style of rugby league, mate. Don't buy into the media hype and the player hype and whatnot, the fan hype. Because, yeah, you will get, commendations. You will have people talking about you. Like, I've been loving him this year. But as soon as a player reads into that too much and starts to think their shit doesn't stink, that's when it starts to stink it up. And he hasn't had a great start in his first 22 minutes. He's been trying to do a little bit too much and has been tackled a couple of times on fifth tackle now without being able to get a kick away. So third tackle here for Cronulla at the 45. Talakai rolls back to Blake Brayley with a great run. It's going to be 6 again here for the Sharks as well. Going to be 6 again, 44 metres out. First tackle. Ibrahim says, Katoa is trying his best to take the Dally M away from Grassy. It's never going to happen, mate. Grassy McGrath is the greatest player of all time. Greatest team of all time, too, because he's one player, one team. Adam Fanor Blake, then to Nico Hines. And then Britton Okoro with a strong run, but great tackle there from the Dolphins. He'll be 20 metres out, third tackle. Queensland says, let's go to Dolphins. But again, around the kicker care. Adam Fanor-Blake now. Can he get the flick away? He does. To Nicho Hynes. Great offload. Short ball. Trindle. Trindle can't get the offload away, but they would have scored otherwise. 4 tackle here. 10 metres away from the line. Blake Brayley to Nicho Hynes. He's had a great start here. Nearly scores himself again. He's the only one who scored tries. He's the only one who scored points so far. Mulatalo to Braden Trindle. Trindle here. That's a short ball. Oregon Kafusi on fit tackle. I don't know what the hell. Braden Trindle's having an absolute melt of a game right now. Braden Trindle is having a really poor game at the moment. Well, like, I disagree with Dennis here. He's saying both... Well, no, I don't necessarily disagree. He said that both sides lacking that finishing touch. I don't think Nicho... I think Nicho's had a belter of a start here. This first 23 minutes, Nicho Hynes has had some great runs. His kicks have been okay. He's scored a try down the right-hand side. It seems like Nicho Hynes is well and truly up for this game. Braden Trindle, on the other hand, and his halves partner just has been having a really poor game. And now Herbie Farnworth will be at the 30 on 4 tackle. Ibrahim says, oh, that's right. Leshko, New South, Chi Hu, next year, 9 in a row. Yeah, waiting for that dynasty to stuff a New South in your mouth. Waiting for the old in your mouth New South to close to a high tackle there. Very much patiently waiting here for the New South in your mouth to have a dynasty. Usually to start a dynasty, you do need to win more than one series in a row. And to be fair, you do actually have to have the current trophy, which unfortunately New South in your mouth do not have that right now. So they've got plenty of gobful right now in the mouth, but unfortunately no trophies to drink out of. Third tackle now for the Sharks. Don't worry about that. It's 6 again for Cronulla. And it's going to be first tackle 25 metres away. They've been clearly on top of this game. They do just need that finishing touch. Teague Wilton, he's 20 metres away from the line. Blake Brayley off to Cameron McInnes. And Toby Rudolph on the field now. He'll be 10 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Blake Brayley, quick play the ball to Trindle. Trindle to Kennedy. Kennedy off to Talakai. Talakai should have got that pass away, but it was a risky play. It was a risky play if he did pass it. And he'll be held over the side. He'll be held up over the line. If he had got that pass away, great. And Mulatalo would have been over, but it was a risky pass because the Dolphins player was right there. And we could have seen Grass McGrath come back into play. Tasmate says, I know that wasn't aimed at me, Matt, but the fact he even mentioned someone liking Ashley Klein, not only liking him as a referee, but as a human, you deserve a timeout. No, we don't question the character of human beings, but we will question their officiating abilities. So fit tackle here. 3 metres away from the line. And short ball, crash play. Nikora will drop the ball, and it will be Dolphins ball here at the 10. Oh, it's just a changeover. Oh, so he caught the ball himself. Okay, it's just a changeover. So the Dolphins will actually only get the ball here at the 1. Oh, man. Yeah, he tried the offload there. But it does go backwards, and then he caught it himself. So, yeah, Dolphins ball, first tackle, 5 metres out. Mitchell says, enjoy the next 60 seconds of silence. Yeah, no, that's a fair play. That is a fair play. Second tackle at the 13. Yeah, both teams here just have been really odd in the attack. Really odd. The Dolphins have been nowhere close to what they've been recently in the attack. Sharks have actually been pretty decent in defense. Whilst the Dolphins are kind of relying upon right now that Nicho Hynes isn't getting the ball and it's going to Trindle because Nicho has been doing really well in my opinion. And that's just ignoring the try too. Like, I think that his runs have been really nice. And Candy will let that ball bounce over the sideline, so it will be Sharks ball here at the 10. Jack Lewis says, the Dolphins haven't had any chance to score all game. Unbelieve. I can't remember one. Okay, not English that comment, but I will say that that's incredibly interesting to say considering the Dolphins have had 2-3 attacking sets on the Sharks line. I think the Sharks have had maybe 3-4, but it's not been a dramatic difference. The Dolphins have absolutely been in the attack in 20 plenty of times today. So what do you mean that the Dolphins haven't had a chance to score? Isaiah Katoa has been tackled on like fifth tackle like 3 times or 2 times in the attack in 10, let alone 20. So I'm not too sure which game you're watching there, my friend. Not too sure which game you're watching, but the Dolphins definitely have been in the attack in 20 a multitude of times. Just, I'd say the Sharks still have been in there more so though, but it's not dramatic. Everyone says, is it milk or Milo first? What are you talking about? You know what? I'm putting the milk in before the cereal. Get mad. How about that? I would never do that, to be fair, but I might just do it just for fun. And now Braden Trindle with the kick up into the left corner. And it will be Jermaine Sarko spins away from a tackle, and he'll bring it out to the 15 now, first tackle. Ashley's misses is it? No, okay. I don't know what that comment's referring to. If you're actually referring to that's a bit far. If you're actually talking about someone's misses. All right. So Dolphins now third tackle here at the 30. You must be watching another game. I think you must be watching another game there, gamers. Not gamers. Jack Lewis. New South Wales had 30 on the field where the Maroons had 14, including the ref. That doesn't even make sense, but considering that even New South Wales fans have admitted that the second half was dodgy as shit from Ashley Klein towards Queensland because they wanted to make that game close. Look at all. I can name you many calls. Many calls. So any New South Wales fan who complains about the ref on Wednesday night, you're off your rocker. You're off your rocker. Like I'd actually listen to you more so in Game 2 than I would in Game 3. Game 3 to allude that the referee was with Queensland is absurd. Just like it's absurd. Dasmate says we did have a dynasty 3 and 4 years, 2018, 2019, 2021. Oh wow! Oh, Daz, wow! 3 and 4 years. Wow, we're talking about history. We're talking about history. 3 and 4 years. Well, I remember a time in history. Do you want to know about that time? Would you like to hear about that time? I would like to see which one was better, whether the dynasty of 3 and 4 years or the 12 and 13 years was better. Or the 11 and 12 years, sorry. Which one? Queensland Sharks are poor with the ball. Honestly, both teams have been pretty poor with the ball so far. It's not been the most utmost quality on the attack from either team at the moment. But the Sharks will take the Dolphins down 8 metres out from their own line. First tackle. First tackle. Now second tackle at 13. The middle of the field's been alright to watch. It's just been both teams a bit headless chicken when it comes to the attack in 20. Like, especially the Dolphins, because at least the Sharks have scored. At least the Sharks are up 6-0. Like I said, though, if the Sharks win this game, I'm happy to put them off scam into fraud alert. I'm happy to take them off scam into fraud alert if they win this game. Oh, why are you telling them to play the ball here at the 20? Michael Paul says, round 19, there's 9 rounds to go and 18 points left for teams. Is it make or break for the top 10 of the ladder, and teams in the bottom of the ladder need to start crapping points to save season? Good kick there for the Dolphins, and it'll be Will Kennedy now bringing it out from the 15 to the 25. I will say, Will Kennedy with a brilliant run into the 40, the 45, the 50. This is a try. They've got numbers galore. Oh, Kennedy, you selfish bastard. That is disgraceful from Will Kennedy. The Sharks, Nico Hines with a brilliant run here himself. He gives it off to Trindle, and Trindle at 10. If they don't score here, Will Kennedy, hang your head in shame. If they don't score here, hang your head in shame, Will Kennedy. Nico Hines for a double. No, he's knocked the ball on. I blame 1 billion% Will Kennedy there. I blame 1 billion% Will Kennedy. That is the most selfish bullshit I've ever seen from a player. That is disgraceful from Will Kennedy. They had a 3-on-1, and he decides to go at himself by doing the dummy. Like, it's a great run from Will Kennedy, but what the fuck are you doing not passing that ball? That is outrageous. Will Kennedy breaks through the line here. He's at the 30, he's at the 40. He's literally got Nakora to his left. He's got Jesse Raymond to his right as well, and he goes at himself and just runs into the tackle. That is insanity. Mark Nichols is going to have to come up for a HIA, but Will Kennedy, from what was such a brilliant run to turning it into a bombed try. Absolutely butchered. And then, look, Nico knocks the ball on here in the line. It's a great tackle there for Marshall Keane that just slaps down to the ball. But come on. That was a guaranteed try. And he just decides to go at himself and run into the contact. Like, he ran into the contact. It's not like he tried to do anything else. He literally ran into the contact. Britt Nakora, Jesse Ramian, or run into contact. It's just insanity. It's just insanity. There's no defending that. There is no defending that decision. An open play to your left that would have scored out of the post. A play to your right that probably scores, but probably out wide because he doesn't have the speed. No, I'm going to choose to run into the contact instead and not pass it. Baffling. Anyway, Michael, to answer your question, look, it's not make or break right now. Like, for the Sharks, it kind of is. Because if they lose another game, then like their confidence is shot, and I'd be giving up on their season. Not mathematically by any stretch of the imagination, but like I'd be giving up on them. I don't think this is make or break here necessarily for the Dolphins, but they are on the same amount of points. So you could argue if I'm saying it for the Sharks and I'm saying it for the Dolphins, but I'm still not convinced on the Dolphins yet. And even though they've been scoring 50 points against teams, the teams have been a little bit all over the shop that they've been playing. And yeah, sure, you can use the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs had 6 or so Origin plays out. Dolphins had a few out themselves, but It wasn't a full-strength lineup either way. And that hits Grass McGrath, but it goes out the back. He'll be Farnworth. Farnworth keeps going here. Nice pass there from Farnworth. Well, Candy, you should learn how to do that. And now it will be Dolphins here. 10 metres out here from the line. Fit tackle. Fit tackle off to Herbie Farnworth. 10 minutes to go here. Farnworth back on the inside. Flicks the ball out the back. It's Grass McGrath, but still Avarillo. Avarillo with the ball gives it with Saikatoa. It's Saikatoa then to Marshall King. This is now really pedestrian. Long pass out of the right, and that's way too hard. That's an awful kick. So 7 tackle set coming up here for the Sharks. 9 minutes to go in the first half, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Both teams have been headless chickens on the attack. As I said, I saw the last 2-3 years of that 8 in a row, so it doesn't count. No, because then, okay, well then, if you saw the last 2-3 years, we'll go 3 years on the flip side. So Queensland ended up winning those 3 years. Then New South Wales won 1, and then we won another 3. So we would be 6 out of 7 then in your time frame there. So I'm just trying to figure out which one's better, the 3 and 4 years or the 6 and 7. That's gonna be a knock on here from Cronulla. They're thinking about challenging it. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to challenge it. So it's going to be Dolphins ball here at the 35. It's not going to be a challenge here. Nah, that would have been just a lost ball. Yeah, no, it's a good call not to challenge that. They would have just called that as a lost ball. Mitchell says Kessie Apps would have scored then. Oh, yeah, how'd the Tigers women's go yesterday, Mitchell? They do all right? They crack on? They crack on now or what? Crack on now against the Dogs? Olivia says Augie likes to hog the ball. No, he's not on Will Kennedy's level, though. Will Kennedy's a big hogger. Big hogger of the ball. Doesn't says, take a bath, Will Kennedy, you dirty, dirty bastard. So the Dolphins here, second tackle. He'll be at the 18. Second tackle, down by 6. They've been here a couple of times so far, but nothing's really happened. Close to a forward pass there. Probably was a forward pass, but forward passes don't usually get called nowadays. Just go and ask New South Wales in game 3, sorry. So third tackle, out to Isai Katoa. Katoa now, and Dolphins will be 4 metres away on 4 tackle. 4 tackle. Marshall King out to Isai Katoa. And good tackle. It was actually a late tackle of Sean O'Sullivan there, but they didn't call it. Fifth tackle here, 5 metres away, out to Isai Katoa. He'll kick it through, little ding. Will it hit the post? It does hit the post. The Sharks will get the ball at 2. They will hit the post, and it will be Sharks to get the ball here at the 2. This is why they are on scam alert, Blaze. That is correct, Ava. Yeah, no, you're right. This is why the Sharks are on scam alert for that Will Kennedy move, because he did scam us. He did. We thought it was a guaranteed try, 3-on-1 opportunity, and he decides to run into contact. So that is a scam. We bought into the product of the Cronulla Sharks scoring mentally. We bought into that. We emotionally bought into that, and we didn't receive our end product of the Sharks scoring a try. So that is correct. They are scammers. And Will Kennedy is a big scammer. Big scammer. Matt's on Sport TV says, when do you reckon Katoa will make the Blues side? Well, who's he come in for right now? Because they're not going to be dropping... They're not going to drop Cleary, no matter what people say. And Moses will come back in. So where do you put him? Because he has to play 7. He's not 6. He's not playing 14. So where do you put him? Category 2, HIA. For Mark Nichols. Jesse says, New South Wales were woeful in game 3. Genuinely, their heart was not in it. Queensland, you can see, won it from the second hit up. Yeah. No, it was one of those ball lovers, man. It just was one of those times. And I was speaking about that in the first, 10, 20 minutes of the game. I kept saying, the intensity from New South Wales, or the intensity wasn't really there. Dasman says, Dogs almost choked last night as well. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah, no, they did. Out to the right side, there might be an obstruction call if they score. They won't call anything. So fifth tackle here at the 15. They don't score, but they probably would have been called back if they did. It's Isai Katoa here. Finally gets a kick away on 5th. Nice. That's what you like to see. But it was not a good... Oh, it's going to be a knock-on from Cronulla. It wasn't even a good kick, but Katoa does make a meal of it. And the Dolphins will get another attacking opportunity 10 metres out. Herbie score here. He'll run straight over Hines. Well, that hasn't happened at all so far. Mitchell says, we felt bad for the Dogs because they've only won 1 game ever, so we let them win another. Yeah, look, fair enough. The Dogs in the women's have only won 2 games ever, Mitchell. You are right there. That is technically correct. They have only won 2 games. Knock on from the Sharkies. Tata says, Moses better than Cleary. Well, Porky not los dos. My answer to you is Porky not los dos. I would personally actually have Moses as 7 and Cleary as 6, but I would assume they'll go with Cleary as 7 and Moses as 6. So it's going to be Isaiah Katoa. He'll be 4 metres out of the line. First tackle. 4.5 minutes left here in the first half. 6 again. 6 again here for the Dolphins. And now they'll be 5 metres away here from the line. Josh Kerr for the Dolphins. He'll roll it back off to Ray Stone here. 2 metres away, second tackle. Over the top. Chance here, chance here, chance here, chance here. No, they won't get there. Good scramble defense there from Britton Nakora and Nico Hines. Nico is having a good game. Nico is having a good game. And Dolphins will slip over the 10. They are headless chickens in the attack right now, man. They have not been flowing at all so far. Marshall King to Isaiah Katoa. Oh, brilliant tackle again by Britton Nakora. And Heavy Farmer goes himself. He can't run into his own play. That should be a penalty. That should actually be a penalty. But it will be Sharks ball here at the 2. I've got to be honest with you. Sharks defense has been sold today. But mostly, the Dolphins have, again, looked really pedestrian in attack. They've looked really... they just haven't been good in attack. Neither team really has been, but... You've got to admit, Nico's having a pretty solid game defensively and attacking-wise. Just nothing crazy attacking-wise, but at least he scored the try and he has made some good runs. Dasmate says, I don't know how you don't get up for an Origin game, but hey, I ain't getting 30k a game, and 30k a game, am I? No, you're not, Dasmate, but also, especially when you're at home in front of 80,000 people in a decider representing your state to win back-to-back series, this is why New South Wales don't get it, buddy. You're starting to get it. Yeah, you're starting to get it while you don't get it. Like, you know, I know you don't get it. I know you don't get it in New South Wales, but are you starting to get it about not getting it, if you get it? Do you get it? You don't get it, but are you getting it that you don't get it? You get it? Fit tackle now for the Sharks at 30. Might be a little bit too intellectual for the old New South Wales. So Nico Hines at the 25. He'll whack it down to the corner. We'll go to the 25 on the other side of the field, and they'll bring it out here to about the 40 on first tackle. Jesse Anderson, I felt sorry for Robson. Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes. Maybe his attack was simple, but he actually looked like he gave a shit at least. Yeah, I don't disagree. A lot of the time you can see players like that, and the errors that he made and was probably from over-trying. Because, yeah, he clearly was there. Like, the back row was nothing. Angus Crichton, Liam Martin, did they play? Did they play? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Especially considering Liam Martin, you know, loves to apparently get up and at him. I didn't see much up and at him. Didn't really see much at him. Didn't really see much up. And didn't really see much up and at him. Isaiah Katoa now 30 metres away from the line on fit tackle. Matt's Nico for Cleary. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Fit tackle now for the Dolphins at the 30. Short ball, forward pass. Short goes forward. It goes forward. Hey, guys, guess what? I don't know if you know this, but apparently there's a new rule that was implemented just yesterday, because obviously Wednesday it wasn't included, but there is a new rule in the NRL. It's called a forward pass. So if you pass the ball forward, it actually gets called up now. Hasn't been used for a long time. Hasn't been called for a long time. Who gets dropped for New South Wales if there was a game 4? But there is no game 4. Because if there was a game 4, then there must be a game 5. And then if there's a game 5, let's just go to 10 at this point. New South Wales wouldn't change much. So Will Kennedy, they'd probably change Max King, and they'd probably change Stefano Utukamana, but Utukamana has never made sense why he's been in Origin. Never. Never. It has never made sense. 4 tackle now for the Sharks at the 40. Low scoring first half this one. Very low scoring. And Colhoun, he'll be 30 minutes out. Go for a field goal, you cats. Go for a field goal. 43 seconds out. Get Jay going. No, Jay, you're not going to be going today. Braden Trindle kicks it over here to Fortnite Boy, and the Dolphins will grab it at the 10. And Jermaine Sarko will have the ball. Yeah, may as well just go to a 7-game Origin series like the NBA. Could you imagine? God help us if that was the case. Taz said, I thought Martin had a good start, but did nothing after that. Yeah, well, he had one good run. Like, he had that really good run at the very start, but Gehama Shibasaki, he really did well. Oh! Nearly an intercept by the Sharks. Nearly an intercept, but it will be a knock-on for the Dolphins. Pack the scrum and go for a field goal, you cats. Go for a field goal. Here we go. Pack the scrum, pack the scrum, pack the scrum. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. No, they're not going to get it. And that right there tells you a story about this game so far. That tells you everything you need to know. Both the teams have not even shown anywhere near enough energy. That is lethargic. Like 7 seconds left, or 10 seconds left at the time. They were 20 metres out. You pack the scrum, you take a quick field goal. You go up 7-0 at half time. Weird scoreline, but you're up by 2 scores. But the Sharks didn't make the scrum. And that, my friends, will be half time. And yeah, both teams have not looked fantastic here. Like, honestly, the only player that I've really, I think, stood out has been Nico. Outside of that, I couldn't really give you a good rap on pretty much anybody else so far. It's been quite underwhelming here. Both teams are obviously fighting for their spot in the top 8 because whoever loses is probably out of the 8, and whoever wins is probably in the 8. Dolphins definitely would be. Sharks, it would rely upon a few things, but and that's obviously the Panthers not beating the Eels. And the Roosters not beating the Dragons because then the Sharks won't go above Manly, so they could still finish in 9th, even with a win here. But look, underwhelming first half so far. Let's go through some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get into the stats. So the possession-wise is 51% to the Sharks, 49% to the Dolphins. So it's pretty much the exact same there. There is not much change there at all. They're getting the exact same amount of ball. Now, the Sharks have had 15 minutes and 38 seconds with time possession. The Dolphins with 15 minutes and 19. Again, only 19 seconds difference there. Completion rate, wow. Cronulla at 79%. It's just underneath the marker. Like, sometimes you can add in 78% if you want, but you want to be over 80%. They're at 19 from 24, so it's not fantastic. It's not awful, but it's not fantastic by any means. And then the Dolphins, on the other hand, they're at 90%, which is incredible, at 19 from 21. So they're down 6-0, but their completion rate is actually really good at 90% of 19 from 21. Attacking-wise, 98 runs here for the Sharks, 84 runs for the Dolphins. Again, these will adjust and update at halftime, but just use it as a guide. 1,009 metres here for the Sharks, 764 metres here for the Dolphins. Now, if you try to equate it, 10 metres per run. There's a 14-run gap right now from 98 to 84. So 10 metres per run on average. What you'll be looking for is 140. Oh, now it's 130 metres at 776 and 1009. So 98 to 85. 130 metres is now it's 86, 787. So you go 120 metres, right? So that would just be above 800. So it'd be 807 to 1009 there for the Sharks. The Sharks are mauling them in regards to run metres. They are absolutely mauling them right now. They are up by over 200 metres if you equate it. They're already up right now by over 200 metres with 10 runs separating them, which is just absolutely, that's a lot. So, yeah, disappointing so far from the Dolphins on the run meter account. Now, post-contact meters is 317 for the Sharks, 294 there for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins are probably doing a bit better there in regards to the post-contact. Now it's 299. It's starting to really update for the Dolphins then. 98, 91, 831, 1009. But the Sharks are at 317 post-contact, 299 now for the Dolphins. So I probably would say that that's pretty much the same, actually. I wouldn't say anyone's really got an advantage there post-contact. Line breaks is 2-1. To the Sharks. Tackle breaks is 15-14 to the Sharks. So both teams defending at a pretty similar rate. That's why the score is pretty similar. Average set distance, anything under 25 at halftime from either team, any team, we always will just end the stream. 25 to 30 is, you wouldn't have split it, disgusting average set distance. 30 to 35 is very underwhelming. 35 to 40 is average, what you expect. 40 to 45 is very good. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is perfect, and an incredible first half, or incredible average set distance. The Sharks are at 42.08, so at the mid-range of the very good category. They are making plenty of meters on their average sets at 42.08, whilst the Dolphins are at 40.86, so on the extremely low end there, but of very good as well. So they're both making similar. It's now 41.32 there for the Dolphins. So both teams are getting some pretty solid meters on their average sets, but the Sharks just a little bit ahead. Now it's 41.85 for the Dolphins. They're really adjusting these stats for the Dolphins at halftime. Average play the ball speed is 3.38 for the Sharks and 3.23 for the Dolphins. That's definitely on the faster end for the Dolphins at 3.23, and 3.38 is also still quite fast for the Sharks. Nothing crazy, but it's still quite fast there. Offloads is 6-2 Cronulla, and then you go down to the forced dropouts, 1-0 Sharks. Kick defusal is 50% for Cronulla, 75% there for the Dolphins. And then you go to the effective tackle percentage, and both teams are doing quite well here. So 88% is the marker, 88 to 90% is just what you need to be at least achieving, and then 90% plus is incredible. The Dolphins are at 89.71%, so they're on the very high end of what you need to be achieving in the marker. 89.71% is really good, and then 218 tackles made, 15 missed tackles, and a whopping 10 ineffective there. So that's 25 bad tackles in in the first half with 218 made. Considering the Sharks are at 92.64% with 214 tackles made and 14 missed tackles, which is only one less than the Dolphins. The reason why their defense percentage right now is much superior with the 92.64 is because the ineffective tackles is 10-3 Dolphins. So the Sharks are actually making some effective tackles. They're not making too many ineffective, but the missed tackles is pretty much the same across the board. So that's where the game is being changed here between the Sharks and the Dolphins on a tackle percentage, effective tackle percentage wise. But both teams there can defending at a pretty solid rate for the most part. Negative play, the Sharks have made 6 errors here. That is not good. Whilst the Dolphins have only made 2, so they're not making too many mistakes at all. Penalties conceded, though, is 3-2 Dolphins, and ruck infringements is 2-1 Dolphins. So, look, the Sharks are making plenty of errors. They're up 6-0 right now. Both teams are looking pretty headless chicken in the attack. Both teams conceding a similar amount of penalties. Both teams at a similar-ish enough effective tackle percentage. Kick defusal is pretty much similar. Like it's 75% to 50%, but it's similar enough. Dolphins putting a lot more dummy passes in. Play the ball speeds both quite fast, but it's just the run meters that the Sharks are dominating in right now. Now it's only a 4-run gap of 108 to 104, and the Sharks are still up by 160 odd. 160, 170, so you give them an extra 40, they're still up by about 120 odd there, the Sharks, even if you equate it. And the Sharks are still up by 17, so they are... they're up by 12 with that gap. So look, it's all up here. Like it's all on. The Dolphins have a better completion rate, whatnot, but the game is still well and truly able to be grabbed. Now, guys, I'm going to quickly run off and grab a tissue. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes' time. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Plenty to go on in here in the second half, and when I get back, I will jump into the chat. Just give me 1 second here. Alright, so I've definitely been confirmed when I've been gone. Definitely been confirmed that you guys need some serious psychiatric help. I've been saying, like, I got a bit of a runny nose. I don't know why. Got a bit of a runny nose today. So, no, there's no tissue needed for some sick people in this chat. But it's not surprising. You know, it really isn't surprising from this chat because this chat is full of sick-minded people. They are. You're very sick-minded people, and you're led by the Three Musketeers. The Three Musketeers of buddy Dazmate Jay and Olivia. And just lucky that we don't have to listen to Skunkle. Very lucky we don't have to listen to Skunkle. If we had to listen to that bloke, it'd be even worse. Tissue, we all fall down. Yeah, but Olivia, see, I know ya. You know, we know ya. You know, it doesn't take too much for you to jump on the bandwagon of them. You know? The peer pressure of a Jay Hayes and a Dazmate. Deary me. Jay says, you know what they call a lady of the night with a runny nose? Okay. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your intellectual conversation. You know, when I come on stream and we talk about things, you know, specifically rugby league, you know, my knowledge is just brightened. It really is. It really is brightened by knowledge by that. So thank you very much for that one, Jay. He says, we don't talk about Bruno unless it's... Okay. Yep. That is also true. Yeah. That is also true. Damn, Wilcanny's run for 175 metres. Honestly, the Sharks should be up 12-0 here. They should have been up 12-0. Like, because Jay, you're an idiot, eh? Like, you need help, mate. Because Wilcanny was selfish, it is a 6-0 ball game. Otherwise, it would have been 12-0 to Cronulla. He had plenty of opportunities. Oh, Australia playing. Is anyone actually watching this Australia-West Indies series? Oh, to be fair, it starts at like 4:15 in the morning, so I don't think a great deal of people would be watching it, to be honest with you. Or maybe they'll be watching like the second and third session as they wake up, but I don't think many people will be watching that. I tell you what, the Ashes is going to be fire at the end of this year, though. Oh my gosh, the last time we did an Ashes series on this channel, that was tough shit. That was tough. I'll be back in Fiji for that too. Like that was tough shit. You know, we absolutely smacked them, but the banter was just rife all day, every single session, every single ball. You never get over Martin. You never get over Martin. Martin Whitehouse is the legend of the channel. Camp Bro says my dad's watching it mostly because he's a Sharks fan. Doesn't watch the games. He gets too angry. What? Are you talking about the Test match between Australia and West Indies, or are you talking about this game? Because we were talking about Australia versus West Indies. But if you're talking about this game, then I'm not too sure what you're referring to. But gets too angry, mate. I get pissed off at the Sharks this year. I get pissed off at the Sharks this year. But I tell you, a captain goes down with his ship. And I was the captain of the Sharks to win the comp pre-season. And I'll go down with the ship, mate. I go down with the scamming ship. It's called the SS Scamming Sharks. Jesse Adams said, I couldn't get tickets the first day of the Ashes. Sold out before I even knew the tickets are on sale. You got to get on it, mate. You'll get tickets. The tickets, more will go on sale. More will go on sale. They always do. They don't release every single thing at the beginning. That's with most sports. Dazmate says, cricket is a summer sport, not winter. Therefore, Australia are not playing. They might be, but they are not. Thank you, Dazmate, for that really intellectual knowledge there. I will say, you are right, though, in regards to the thought process from Australians. Unless it's on in December, I wouldn't even say that many people watch anything past the SCG test. Most people won't watch. People have cricket fatigue by the beginning of January. Because obviously you've got like 4 tests or 3 tests that happened before then, and people love the first test, which is like at the Gabba or Perth or whatever. People will always love the first test. They'll get around the second test. Everyone gets around the Boxing Day test. The SCG is kind of when people clock off. The only way people care about the 5th test is if it's got like meaning behind it. I don't think many people watched. I think it was it Hobart last time out? Was the final test? In the Ashes? I think it was. I think Hobart was the final one. And people are done by that point, man. Jesse says Boxing Day test. Everyone loves it. Oh, you're talking the Boxing Day. Oh, Boxing Day might be different. That might have actually gone all on sale. That might have been. Yeah. They might have actually sold out of that one. Jay Splits, you got so pissed, so you switched to the Eels. Could you imagine switching from the Sharks to the Eels? Like switching from the Cronulla Sharks to the Eels. So, like, it's a bit of a muchness in a lot of ways but at least the Sharks have won a domestic trophy. At least they've won a national competition. To be fair, the Eels have won a domestic trophy. They have not won a national competition, no. And then you're going to get Eels fans who go, well, we won for permission in the 80s. Yeah, but that wasn't a national competition. There was no Broncos. There was no Cowboys. There was no Delphine. There was no KKK. No Titans. There was no Warriors. There was no Storm. It wasn't even the damn well Raiders at that point. Actually, was it the Raiders? I think the Rays. When did the Rays come in, actually? Like 88 or something? Something like that. 87, 88? When did Canberra come in? I can't remember. Now, Para won the Auckland Nines. Oh, wait. The old Auckland Nines. What a tournament. What a tournament. Oh, wait, they did. Yeah, I know what you're referring to now. I know what you're referring to. Yeah, no, unfortunately, Paramount did not win that. There was the Raiders. Oh, massive. Huge, Daz. Massive. When did the Rays come into the competition? 82. Mate, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable stuff. So technically they've beaten Canberra. Canberra came in 82. There you go. Yeah, you should know Canberra. You're a Canberra local. Blah, blah. So Canberra and Illawarra were the only non-Sydney teams. The only non-Sydney teams, crazy. Obviously, Illawarra still... when did Newcastle come into the competition? When did the Newcastle Knights come into the competition? They came in 1988. Okay, so 88 was what I was thinking with the Raiders, but yeah, Knights came in 88. Para won't even win a comp on the new league game. By the way, are you playing? Oh, for gosh sake, Mitchell, don't start this, please. Please don't start this. I beg. The fact that you even commented this is going to initiate someone young to ask me if I'm going to play the damn well Rugby League 26 game. Camp Bro says then 6 years later in 88 we got our best buds, the Brisbane Broncos. Our best buds, eh, Camp Brody? Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that again, especially not this week, buddy. Dear me. But all right, both teams running out here for the second half. Obviously, hit that like button. Do it right now. hit that damn well like button immediately and subscribe if you are new around here. Do it right now. All right. So Sharks now. We'll get the ball here at the 8. And it'll be at the 15. Jade's mate has returned. Dasmate says, came in 1988. Oh, it's a knock on from the first tackle from the Sharks. I just don't know if I can deal with watching this team anymore. No, I don't want to watch a Sharky play. I really don't want to watch a Sharky play the game of rugby league. I really can't do it, mate. I really can't do it. I really can't do it. Queensland says run plays at Hines. Why? He's been very good today. Hines has been great defensively and attacking-wise. Have you watched the same game as us? So Dolphins now 10 metres out. They've had plenty of chances to score here today, but none of the second half so far except for right now, because that was the first tackle. And it's offside from the Sharks, so penalty to Dolphins. Great start for Cronulla. There's been one tackle that they received, they knocked it on and then gave away a penalty in the second tackle. Perfect start here for the Sharks. Perfect. This is brilliant Cronulla football. This is brilliant Cronulla football. I don't think they realise this, but when you receive the ball off the kickoff, what you're meant to do is actually hold the ball. And then if you don't hold the ball, a really good start would be to not give away a penalty, to give more place to the opposition team. That's usually how rugby league works. And here we go. Chance for the Dolphins. No, they'll be 5 metres out from the line. First tackle. Oh, no. Is that a knock-on for the Dolphins? Oh, no, it's a penalty. Sharks. Oh, my gosh. There's been 3 tackles, lads. There has been 3 tackles in the second half. We have witnessed 3 tackles. First tackle, Sharks knock on. Second tackle, Dolphins receive a penalty. Third tackle, Dolphins receive a penalty. I'm going to lose my mind, lads. I'm going to lose my mind. Dolphins now. We got through a tackle without a penalty. Ladies and gentlemen. First tackle now for the Dolphins. 10 metres out. So Katoa just got absolutely whomped. That could honestly be a late hit penalty. They didn't call it, though. And that's exactly what they're going to call. He's gone to the bin. It's short. You've got to go to the bin. Tell him to go to the bin. There's a late hit for I did say this was going to be a penalty. So that's... Okay, so we've been here for 5 tackles. We have been in the second half now for 5 tackles. Sharks knock on. Sharks give away a penalty. Wow, a tackle actually went through with nothing happening. And then Sharks give away another penalty. Might lose my mind. If there's no bin on the next penalty, I'll give up. So the Dolphins now are 3 metres out from the line. We have seen a tackle that has not been called a penalty, which is really incredible scenes here at Shark Park. Now second tackle here at the 5. Second tackle. Jared Fleming says it's going to be okay, Blades. Where's your herbal inhaler? Oh my gosh, we've seen a knock on. I'm trying to calm myself down, sing Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. There we go. Meditation works. Because otherwise, we're going to go through the tackles again, and in 8 tackles there, 6 of them had either a knock-on or a penalty. 6 of the 8 tackles we've seen in this second half so far, 6 of the 8 of them have either been a knock-on or a penalty. And, oh my gosh, it's another penalty. Oh my gosh, it's a Sharks penalty. I can't deal with this, lads. I can't do it. What, you think I can do it? You think I can do it? We've been here for 10 tackles now, and there's been 8 out of 10 tackles that have either been a knock-on or a penalty. Oh, no. 8 out of 10 tackles has been either a knock-on or a penalty. Please, can we get through a set? Can we just, either team, for the love of all that is mighty, please, I just want to win a set. I just want to win a set, man. Please, man. First tackle now for Cronulla, and they're going to beat the 40. Second half penalties. There's been 4 penalties in 4 minutes. For gosh sake. Sharks now. We've got through 2 tackles. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Beautiful scenes. And then Hamlin-Ueli, he's going to be at the 40. 3 tackles. Come on, just complete a set. That'll get us going. That'll really fire us up if you can get us going here. That'll really fire us up if you can complete this set, Cronulla. 4 tackle at 25. Might go down as the greatest set of all time if you can complete this. Nico out to Braden Trindle. Trindle then to Teague Wilton. And it'll be 20 metres away from the line. Queensland says stop blowing penalties. Hey, here's an idea, Queensland. How about this one? How about stop giving away penalties? So it's a good shout. That's a great shout. Sharks kick it through here, and then... Wow, nearly knocked it on, but the Dolphins will get it completed set, lads. Take your hat off. If you've got a hat on right now, take it off. Take it off for that. Take it off for that. Take it off for that set. My goodness. Campo says, you get a penalty, and you get a penalty, and you get a knock-on, and you get a knock-on. But the only thing you missed there, Campo, was that you said penalty, knock-on, but you forgot about the penalty. Penalty, knock-on, penalty. And penalty. So fit tackle now for the Dolphins at the 35. Scamalone ain't getting removed this week. I don't know if it is getting removed this week. They might be going to fraud. I might put them on fraud. If they can win this game, they're still going to beat a team in the top 8. But just screw the hat, take your shirt off instead. You know, that's what OnlyFans is for, mate. You've got to be a member of my OnlyFans for that to come out. Jaffa Mo says, would love to see a complete set the next 5 minutes. I might be joining you and losing my mind. You're asking a bit much there, buddy. Come on. Come on, be realistic now. Be realistic. Where's your Sharks? I can put it on if you'd like. Forward tackle now for the Sharks. They're 45 metres away here from the Dolphins line. Is this rugby union, Mark says? Not rugby union. Feeling like it, but very much feeling like it at the moment. Just waiting for the 3 points to be kicked. And Nico Hines will put that ball up into the right-hand corner. Good chase from the Sharks. That's going to be an offside penalty. That is an offside. That should be, yep, absolutely. Well, it's an offside penalty, Adam Cheap. Yep, just throwing that out there. I know Farnworth's knocked the ball on. But considering a Dolphins player has then touched it and grabbed it, that, my friends, would then be classed as an accidental offside. They're going to challenge this here. They are going to challenge it. Get out the pink lotion? What? So, Britton Okoro chasing this through. It's not a penalty NRL replays. They're saying it's a knock-on. But I'm saying it should have been. Unless Nakora is the one who knocks this ball back. They are challenging it. Oh, Farnworth is actually going to give away a penalty here. Yeah, Farnworth is going to change his line. Yeah, changes his line. Yep, that's a penalty to Cronulla. So they challenged it, so it's going to be an unsuccessful call. It did originally knock on from Britton Nakora. It was going to be a successful challenge otherwise. Yep. So they challenged this call, and the challenge successful because what they challenged, but they have found a penalty in the play. So Farnworth gives away the penalty, but it's a successful challenge because it was originally a knock-on from Britton Nakora. All right, so Sharks, please give us some points here, son. Please give us some points here, son. Oh my gosh, this game is a mess. This game is an absolute mess right now, lads. They've decided to go for the 2 in the end. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what to tell you. Am I meant to be telling you something here? You wanted me to explain what's happening in this game because the commentary doesn't know. I don't know. Nico doesn't know. The Sharks don't know. But guess what? Apparently after all of that, we're getting a 2-point penalty here from Cronulla. So get up and at him, Nate, Jay and Ian. Get up and at him. I'll read what she's reading. It says, the AFL is going all right now up the Suns. Fair enough. Mitchell says, the Sharks took my advice, I see. Yeah, they definitely took it. They were listening to you. So, Nico Hines here to take a 2-point penalty. Larkin says, come on, Dolphins, save my multi. The fact that you're saying save my multi on the first game of the round is really concerning. Really concerning. All right, so Nico Hines, 10 metres in from the right-hand sideline to take an 8-0 lead. He will make it through. So it is 8-0 to Cronulla. 8-0, they're up by 2 scores here. No field goal for you today, Jay. No field goal here, but it was a field goal from the kicking team. So half and half. 33 minutes to go here of the game. Oh, Timmy Zuvas Fundora next Sunday. I will be streaming the Sonny Bill Williams versus Paul Gallen fight next week too. Like, whenever I think of the Sharks, the first 3 words that would ever come up in my mind would be, I don't know. That is a great point that you make. It's a very valid point, actually. Very valid point. Am I thinking a low-scoring affair? Well, it's only 8 points in the first 50 minutes, so I'm pretty certain this is going to be a low-scoring affair, this one. Especially considering both teams are headless chickens in the attack. Olivia says, I was not betting last week and this week too risky. I tell you what's not a risk. Titans 13+. It's the biggest bolter you ever did see. Look at them. Look at them on the ladder. If you look at the ladder, you'll see why I say Titans 13+. Take the 2, don't have confidence in attack. Queensland, I've got to be honest with you, your takes in this game have been dreadful. I've got to be honest with you, man, and I back you because I'm a Queensland fan as well, but your takes in this game have been absolutely dreadful. Dreadful. I take it the 2 there was a smart play. Smart play. Really, yeah. Like, firstly, you said to go at Nico Hines, has clearly been the Sharks' best player. 8 points won't be enough. Queensland, are you watching the same game as we're watching? You watch the same game? Do you realise in the 50 minutes the Dolphins have not been able to score? They're on 0 points. Do you realise that the Sharks are only up by 1 score? Do you realise now the Sharks are up by 2 scores? Do you realise the Dolphins, when they've been in attack, have looked really poor so far? Or whether the Sharks have looked really poor in attack so far. Are we watching the same game here, Queensland? How on earth? I would like for you to explain to me why they weren't going to take the 2 there, up by 6, with a free 2 points at offer, when the game is as low scoring as it is and it was a one score game. But then again, you also did suggest for the Dolphins to run it at Nico all night, when Nico has been defending brilliantly all night. He's defending brilliantly so far. Again, you see the nil play, you see the big 0. The big 0. You see that one? 0 means no score. It means nada. It means nothing. It means nothing. So that means it's a 2-score game here. Your opinion's your opinion. But it's really baffling that you've continuously led with some really odd decision making here in this chat. Mitchell says, does watching this game come with free margaritas? I need it. It's Katoa right hand side here, and the Dolphins will be taken down here at the 20. And that was on fit tackles. So, again, Queensland, just to let you know, Dolphins did a score there. So, fit tackle changeover, and it'll be Sharks balling at the 23 on their own side of the field. 30 minutes to go here of the game here. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Logan Balzac says, Tanner Boyd sacrificed his performances and left the club so the Titans could jump from last to first. Real immortal behaviour. Yeah, but he's still in the top 4, you know. So his old club's in first and he's still in the top 4. Oh, now you're talking, Olivia. A bit of tequila. Get a bit of tequila shots, India. Now we're really talking. I'm in the doghouse this week. Yeah, no, you are, Olivia. Absolutely. Absolutely. 3rd tackle out the Sharks at the 40. Can't be friends this week, Olivia, except for the tequila. Blake Brayley, if you're buying the tequila shots, can be friends. Just not on Sunday. So 4th tackle now at the 45. And Adam Fanor Blake, 5th tackle. No, it's not Adam Fanor Blake. That's Toby Rudolph. He'll be 35 metres away here. 5th tackle. Ian Baker says we were missing Cody and the hammer. I definitely believe you're missing... Yeah, no, you're right, both. I was going to say mainly Hamiso, but no, Cody has actually been a big loss in the 6. I don't think Sean O'Sullivan's really done much at all today. And I think that Desai Katoa has tried to take it upon himself too much. That's why he's been tackled on 5th tackle, multiple times, because he really hasn't had his regular halves partner of Cody Nicarima there. And obviously Hamiso is a good floater at the back. We all know how good Hamiso is. For example, his try on Game 3 on Wednesday, floating at the back, and when Robert Toya was getting taken over the sideline, he throws it back inside, breaks away, and then, so not his try, but his try assist for Tom Dearden. So yeah, there are a couple of massive losses there for the Dolphins. But to be completely honest with you, for the Sharks, it really isn't about that right now. They have lost to teams with far worse players out than you guys, and that's not just the Dolphins. I'm just saying they lost to the Roosters with no Angus Crichton, with no, obviously still no Sam Walker, with no Connor Watson. They had like 5 of their stars, 6 of their stars out or whatever, 5 with Origin and a couple out with injury, and yet got pumped by 40. So, that's Dolphins ball here at the 22. No, it's a penalty to the Sharks. So, yeah, look, I think that for the Sharks, it doesn't matter, just win the game. It really just comes down to winning the game. doesn't matter about excuses this, excuses that, because the Sharks haven't been able to beat any team. They haven't been able to beat any team even with players out for the opposition team. So the Dolphins are challenging this, saying that the Sharks have provided an escort here. Because it was successful, the previous one, even though they received a penalty, got given a penalty against them. Nah. You can't say that's an escort. No way. There's no escort there at all. Playing through, yeah, that's fine. You're going to lose this challenge if that was about the escort. If you're challenging the escort there, you are 100 billion% about to lose this challenge. And then this is going to be a strip here. Yep. That's going to be a strip there. And that's going to be a knock on there. So you've lost your challenge, Dolphins. Well done. This is 1,000,000% a strip here. 1,000,000,000% a strip. Yep. Is there any offside from the Dolphins? The player who picks it up is... Oh, yeah, no, if it has touched Kenny, it would be then a knock on Dolphins. Yeah, rather than a penalty. I think they're going to say this is just a penalty, but... Yep, so that's going to be a penalty. So, unsuccessful challenge, and you lose it, and it will be Sharks with the penalty. I don't know why they were trying to claim an escort. There was nowhere close to an escort there. Jared says, it is good to see the Wires love a good Titans player like Clark Boyd. Was 12 Picky under the Titans well? Well, he never played for our first grade team, but yes, 12 Picky was from us, just like Jareem Buller was as well. They were both from the Gold Coast. Tane 12 Picky was Burleigh Bears, I think. But yeah, you're right. It is good to see. Well, maybe because they lost 66-6 to us last year. That's a 1-1 strip from Marshall King. They are really desperate for these 1-1 strips today. This is like the third or fourth attempt they've had at it, and they've got two of them. They didn't get one of them, and obviously the previous one was a penalty against them. But it is Dolphins' ball here now. 6 again as well. 42 metres out. First tackle. It's Katoa to Sean O'Sullivan. They're loving a strip tonight, the Dolphins. Lagan says, none of this tequila bullshit. I had a cracker Nutella latte this morning at 7 a.m. Can someone time him out for a minute, please, for talking like a Roosters fan? Sounds like you're a buddy Bondi latte sipper over there. Get him gone for a minute. That's a knock on for the Dolphins, though. Get him gone for a minute. Get out of here for a minute, Logan Ballsacks. You deserve it, too. None of this tequila bullshit. I had a cracker Nutella latte this morning at 7 a.m. What do you think this is, mate? What do you think this is, the Roosters podcast? You think this is a Bondi Roosters podcast? No Bondi latte sipping here, mate. We don't latte sip here with Nutella lattes. Second tackle at the 35. NRL Replay says, really looking forward to becoming a commentator. Well, I'm doing it right now. So you don't need to look forward to it. I'm right here. Nutella latte, you Sydney. Oh, the Sharks are away. Oh, they get the offload away. Braden Trindle. Trindle now taking a 30 on 4 tackle. 4 tackle. And now they go to Nico Hines, and it's a 6 again here for the Sharks too. Dolphins a little bit ill-disciplined here. They're 25 metres away on first tackle for Cronulla. They roll back to Blake Brayley. Brayley up to Will Kennedy. And Kennedy, he'll bring this ball here to the 13 on second tackle. Ian says, they're struggling just trying anything other than playing footy. Correct call. Blake Brayley, Nico Hines. Hines then to Teague Wilton. And Teague Wilton will be 3 metres out. You got Blake Brayley. He goes out the back to Nico Hines. Hines short ball here. And Sharks, Chelsea Calhoun will be 2 metres out. Oh, well, replays, what you've done to yourself. Out the back here to Nico Hines. Short ball, Nikora. Oh, he nearly got away. He gets the offload away. Jesse Ramian. Tries off the Shaggy Sharks. A captain goes down with his ship. A captain goes down with his damn well ship. Sharks with the try. Jesse Ramian with the try time. 12-0 with a kick to come. 12-0 with a kick to come. Lagan says, black coffee is too sour and bland. Needs something exquisite. Exquisite nearly deserves a timeout, but we'll let you go this time. I don't drink black coffee either. But I'm not getting a double frappuccino latte with an almond twist and a little bit of vinegar and cinnamon in it, And that's maybe not the vinegar part for latte sippers in Bondi territory, but it's definitely like a fruity twist. It's like a little bit of orange coming out of it too. Like they're weirdos. They're really out there. T says Sharks having dolphin for dinner. In a fight in the ocean, do Sharks win or do Dolphins win? I feel like Dolphins in like the ocean would beat a shark because they're more intelligent. Because I feel like in the ocean, if a dolphin and a shark fought each other, who would win? I feel like I'd back a dolphin. These are the questions we ask on BK Sport. It is relevant to the game today. It is. I asked you guys in the chat, who wins in a fight between a shark and a dolphin in the ocean? I reckon it's a dolphin. The Sharks are playing like their season relies on this game, the commentary says. Yeah, it's kind of like I said that before the game started. So Nico from the right-hand sideline, he will miss the kick. So it seems like that 2-point penalty was pretty important, no? Ibrahim says, the NRL is so easy to guess considering Titans have won the last 18 premierships. You're exactly right, Ibrahim. You know, but we still have fun. You know, we still have a bit of fun. We still have a little bit of fun watching it regardless. Blaze, when are you coming back to replace Blocker on Fox League? Well, back is an interesting word there because they haven't actually worked for Fox before. But listen, if I was replacing Blocker, I'd be up for it. Lagan says, I don't know, I've legit been on the soy caramel lattes. Is there like a 3-minute timeout option? No, there's only a 1 minute, but you're getting it. Yeah, and I did it myself. I wanted to really be the one to do that to you, Lagan. Also, I didn't want to tell my moderators to do it. I wanted to do that myself. I've legit been on the soy caramel lattes for about 6 months now, but the Nutella latte is getting to me. That'll do me. That'll do me. Third tackle for Cronulla at the 30. Third tackle, caramel soy lattes. And you're telling me you're a Bulldogs fan. Hey, Daz, as a Bulldogs fan, do you accept this man as a Dogs fan? Do you accept him as a local in Belmore? I don't know, mate. Oh, jeez. I didn't even have time to mute it. Oh, man. I don't think I'm getting sick. It's just, like, so humid right now here in Vietnam. Lagan a Chooks fan. He must be, Seb Watson. He must be. I think he's been pretending to be a Dogs fan for so long. Second tackle now for the Dolphins at the 25. On the right side of the field. Yikes. Jack says, what's the deal with the ref? What do you mean? What are you complaining? Like, what's the cause you're complaining about? It's Adam G, the referee, but what are you actually complaining about? What's the temperature? I don't know, man, but it is just really... I've got aircon on right now, but I still feel the humidity. I don't know what it is. Vietnam is something, man. Ian says, Dolphins don't fight one-on-one. They got boys. Sharks are usually one out. Oh, wow. That's real dog shit there from the Dolphins. Well, then get around the Cronulla Sharks today. You can't... What, Dolphins don't fight one-on-one? Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Because a Titan would one-on-one you all. He'd one-on-one you all. You know what? He'll go 1-on-100, you know? Take you all on. Get your best Rooster out. Get your best Warrior out from New Zealand. Get your best Eagle out. Titans doing them all. Sharks now, Britton Nakora. It'll be third tackle. Gets the offload away to Will Candy. He gets the offload away then to Braden Trindle, then to Toby Rudolph, and he will do nothing with it. He'll be taken down to the 40 on fourth tackle. You got the Rona. I do not have the flu, Olivia. Do not have the flu. Jason says, what is going on with the Dolphins? They're missing a lot in Nicarima and they're missing a lot in Hami. So that's going to be a penalty to the Sharks. And guess what I would do if I was the Sharks right now? Take the 2. That's what I'd do. Right in front, 30 metres out. I'd take the 2 and make it 14-0. Not going to read Mitchell's coming out. That is a high tackle there against the Dolphins. Penalty to the Sharks. Google said Dolphins are gay. Sharks. Google said Dolphins are gay Sharks? What did I just read? Google said Dolphins are gay Sharks. What are you talking about, Mark? What's Google on about? What's Google on about? What's happening here in the chat? Dolphins are gay Sharks, apparently. So Sharks from right in front, 30 metres out. 20 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Apparently we're talking about Dolphins being gay Sharks here in the chat. And the Sharks will make the kick. So it's 14-0 points. 14-0 points for the Sharkies. They win this game. Well, firstly, they're back into the positive because they're -4. They're +10 if the score ended 14-0. But they would, for the time being, jump the Roosters, the Manly Seagulls, the Dolphins. No, not the Manly Seagulls. Get to the bye. The Dolphins, the Panthers, and the Roosters. And they would go equal with the Broncos, but they're nowhere close to the Broncos. Beyond +10, they would actually go into 7th position for the time being. And they will jump the Dolphins, and they will jump the Roosters, but the Roosters will get to play against the Dragons tomorrow. Don't forget, guys, we'll be live for all 3 games tomorrow and all 3 games on Sunday. Jared Farmer says, Mark just came back from that Bears Perth Club. I wonder if they're still getting memberships, that Bears Perth Club. What a team. NRL Replay says, Dolphins really flop without Emma. I actually think it probably a bigger loss here based off of how the Dolphins' attack was in the first half was actually probably more so Nikorima. I think it was more so Nikorima. It's 29 degrees in Vietnam according to Google. It's always like 29 degrees, but the humidity in Vung Tau right now is through the roof. Google said Mark is donkey of the day. No, that's correct, Mitchell. You know what? Let's give him donkey of the week, mate. Let's give him donkey of the week. It's only the first game of the weekend, and we've already got donkey of the week locked up. Fit tackle now. Oh, I shouldn't say that considering there's a Broncos game on Sunday. So the Sharks will keep that one down. Good chance here. Oh, they nearly got it, Will Candy. Dolphins do look like a zesty shark. No, I think there's a little bit of valid discussion behind it. But I'm backing in a real fight between a shark and a dolphin. I think sharks look more aggressive, but I reckon a dolphin's too intelligent for him. Just like the New South Wales team lineup looked more aggressive, but the Queensland is just too smart for him, you know? I reckon the underdog's the dolphin, but I reckon the dolphin's winning. The underdog is the dolphin, but I reckon the dolphin beats the shark. Great white versus your best dolphin. Give it up. Bottlenose dolphins do indeed engage in a bit of gayness. Okay, let's move on from the gay dolphin stuff. Let's not turn this into an anatomy lesson here of what dolphins utilize for pleasure. Yeah, we'll just move off of that conversation. Yeah. Second tackle now at the 22. I'll agree with Shizra and say I think dolphins are more malicious. I'm pretty certain they are, but I also don't think they look as scary, but they are as scary. Game is where the Raiders, well, they're obviously not here. If you look at the ladder, you just got to look at the ladder, mate. Forward tackle down with the Sharks, and they're at 35. It was really disappointing because they've played such good footy this year. I think they've won plenty of games, but they can't even make the top 10. Nico Hines to Adam Fennell Blake, and they'll be at the 50. Someone says, Lagan, Soy Latte, Sipper, and Zesty Dolphins been a bad 5 minutes. Been a rough 5 minutes. It's a bad day to be a BKR Sports subscriber. Bad day. Bad day to be a tequila shot tonight too. So Dolphins in Avarillo, who'll be taking up the 15 on first tackle. Imagine scoring 228 points in the last 5 weeks and being held to 0 by the Cronulla Sharks in the first 63 minutes here, Dolphins. What the hell? How's that even possible? They've scored 228 points in the last 5 games they've played, and they've been held to 0 by the Sharks, who have given up points to random teams for fun recently. For fun. Herbie Farmworth with a good step here. And he'll be taken down here at the 40. Then he hits grass and McGrath. And Asai Katoa will get taken down to the 20. So a nice little loss of 20 metres there from Herbie Farmworth. Mitchell says, think Manly should relocate to Perth and take over. Okay. I'll let you guys read that one. Fair tackle out to 33. It's not that kind of educational stream we promote here. Not usually, no. It's the first time I've ever heard people talking about homosexual dolphins, to be honest with you. So first tackle now for the Sharks at the 40. Someone says that's because no Cody, he's been great for the kicker. Get no Cody Nikorima and also no Hamisa Tabuaifodo. With that being said, like, they scored 228 points in 5 weeks. You'd think they could score a try. You'd think they could, especially with the Asai Katoa playing as well as he has this year, but he hasn't been good today, sire. Sharks now, they'll get the offload away to Trindle with a nice floating run. Gives it off here to Talakai. Talakai gets it out to Motatala. Fortnite Boy sets back onto the inside. He's 20 metres out. Fortnite Boy still going here. He'll flick it off to Jesse Calhoun. No, sorry, Billy Burns, and he'll be 13 metres away from the line. 4 tackles. The Sharks score here, it's game over. If the Sharks score here, it's game over. Nico Hines. Oh, he should have got the inside ball, but he gets the offload away late to McInnes. McInnes then to Billy Burns. Burns then Braden Trindle. And Trindle's 5 metres out. If they score here, I've got game over. The Dolphins have got more than just Bostock T. They've got like Flegler and Max Plath and heaps of guys like that. Blake Brayley kicks it through, and it's going to be a dropout here from the Dolphins to the Sharkies. Dropout coming up. Yeah, but the thing is that Bostock has been out, and they've still scored 50-odd points. They still scored 50 against the Rabbitohs. He didn't play against the Rabbitohs. So you can't look at Bostock being out and say that's the reason why they haven't scored points here. You can't say Bostock is the reason they're on 0. You can look and say Nicarima and Hamiso are massive outs there in their spine. That is impacting them greatly. However, I think they've been able to score quite a few points even without Hamiso for one of the Origin games. I think they have. So it probably does come down to Nicarima, but like 0 points after 228 points in the last 5 games? 0? Jamie says, what is this? This is talking about Dolphins in the ocean being gay stream. Logan Borsak says, Cronulla Sharks are now premiership powerhouse. I do think I want to put them on fraud alert, but that did go 10, so the Dolphins will get the short dropout, and they'll be about 13 metres out from their own line. Are the Sharks off of scan? They could be on the old fraud alert. They could be a cheeky little fraud alert here. Someone says, Sharks not good enough to get off scan, but the Dolphins are above them. They're in the top 8. They've been playing some really good footy. They have kept them to 0. You know what? I'll say this. If they keep the Dolphins to 0 for the next 14 minutes and they don't concede a point, then I'm taking them off scan and putting on fraud alert. I'm making an executive decision. Olivia, you can say no. You guys can say no. I'm making an executive decision. I'm not listening to you guys' peer pressure anymore because I put the Bulldogs on fraud alert for your peer pressure, and then I get complaints from the same people who wanted to put them on fraud alert to take them off fraud alert. It's like, they're not come off fraud alert. Dolphins are away here. Dolphins are away at the 30, and then one of the weirdest kicks you'll ever see in your life, but the Dolphins do pick it up. They're still going here. They're still going here. They're still going here. You're not going off scam today, Sharks. You're not going off scam today, Sharks. No, you are staying on scam today. 14-4 with a kick to come. 14-4 with a kick to come. And the game is actually back on. It's a 10-point game. 13.5 minutes to go. This is why you ain't going on scam today. T says, I mean, he's one of the players missing. He's a natural try scorer. Sure, I agree, but that doesn't. I wouldn't look at a winger and say that's the reason why they had scored 0 points in the first 63 minutes of this game, 67 minutes of this game. But yeah, like, he's definitely one of the players missing. They've also got Max Plath out. Like I said, Hamiso, Nicarima. Like, Tom Flegler hasn't even... I don't even know if he'll play again, to be fair. Like, they've got plenty of players out. Felice Kafusi's not playing. So they do have players out. But realistically, it's only Nicarima and also Hamiso that is relatable to the conversation we're talking about in regards to the points being not scored. Jamie says, the Finns heard you want to take them off scam. I think the Sharks are not only the biggest scammers I've ever seen in my life, but I think that we should relocate them to probably Kolkata. Maybe Kolkata. Snake answers, that's what the Sharks want you to think. You're gonna get scammed. Well, I just got scammed just then. I was trying to argue for them to come off of scan. Trying to argue against, a rampaging subscriber base who was just so angry that I even thought about taking the Sharks off scan. And I said, hey, listen, let's meet in the middle here. If the Dolphins don't score a point for the rest of this game and they stay on 0, I'm taking them off scan. But if the Dolphins score, they're staying on it. Well, immediately the Dolphins score. Jermaine Sarko has kicked 10 consecutive goals here. This is a hard one from the right-hand sideline, and he will make it 11 straight conversions. And it is 14-6. That 2-point penalty is looking pretty nice at the moment. 14-6 with 12 minutes to go of the game. Still an 8-point game. That was a nice little kick there. It didn't look like it was what he originally wanted to do, but it was. And then, they do score. That's his first try as a Dolphin as well. That is a first try for Max Finite of the Dolphins. Scored for the Dragons, not for the Dolphins. Someone says, Logan, stop shouting. Gave me a massive headache. You got to stop shouting, Logan. 12 minutes left to the game. Sharks and Indian telemarketers, no difference. Not much. Not much at all. So Dolphins now will be first tackle 10 metres away here from their own line. 12 minutes to go here of the game. Down by 8. And they'll get the ball out to the 20 on second tackle. Finifuiaki. Does anyone actually think the Dolphins win this game from here? I actually think if the Sharks throw away a 14-0 lead with 13 minutes to go after keeping a team out for 67 straight minutes with no points, I think if they lose this game from here, the Dolphins drop it, goes to Grassy McGrass. But it does go backwards, so it's fine. Jermaine Sarko picks up at the 20 and he'll bring it out here to the 25. I honestly think that it's time to just blank out the Sharks' name on the ladder if they lose this game from here. Scoreboard update. Okay, 1 second here. Thank you for letting me know. Jay forgot to do his job. That's not surprising, but not surprised at all. Not surprised by that at all, Jay. He's slacking. All right, fit tackle. They kick it. Now the Sharks will bring this ball out here to the 20. First tackle. Scoreboard, Jay. Oh, well, you got there. You got there in the end. Mitchell says, we all know if they kept Junior Tupou, they would have scored 40 by now. Isn't Junior Tupou signed with the Roosters now for next year or something? Some team signed him. I thought I might have glanced at a Roosters signing him or whatnot. All right, Sharks now, third tackle. They're at the 35. Blake Brayley pushes up into... I'm surprised it wasn't a penalty then. But he gets that ball to Oregon Kafusi, and Kafusi will take it out to 40. Yeah, come on, Jay, wake up. But also, come on, Seb, get English. Get English in here. Fair tackle out to 45. Deary me, 1 second. He's at the Rooters now. Oh, he is at the Rooters, I was right. So the Dolphins pick this ball up at the 3. And bring it out to the 10 through Jake Avarillo. 10 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button, subscribe. 10 minutes to go, only an 8-pointer. Let me know in the chat. So I'm playing with this at the moment. Let me know in the chat if you think the Dolphins will come back and win this game, or if the Sharks will hold out and prevent themselves from getting blanked. Happy Farmers away to 40, the 45, the 50. He's at the 40 now. Kennedy, good defense, but Kennedy gets away from the tackle. And Farmer's still going. Farmer's still going. The Dolphins back to Farnworth. Farnworth! Oh my gosh, he's actually going to score. Oh, Sharks, you do this. I'll give up on you. Sharks, if you lose this game, I'll flip out. I'll flip out. I flip out on epic proportions. I flip out so big, you'll never even remember your own name. I'll flip out that much, Cronulla. You lose this game from here, I'm gonna do something silly. I'm going to do something silly. If you lose this game from here, I'm never, ever putting their name on this ladder over again. The fact this is even happening is just disgraceful. 14-10 with a kick to come. You kept the Dolphins out for 67 straight minutes. You've now conceded 2 tries in the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes of this game. There's 9 minutes left. That was probably about a metre forward there for the Dolphins, but they've allowed it to be a try. Start flipping out, Jay. No, I'll crash out. I'll crash out here. I'll crash out. I'll crash out if the Sharks lose this game. I'll crash out. And that wasn't a crash out just then. That was me at about a 3. You know what? See me at a 10, mate. Oh, my goodness. That was a great little step there from Farmworth. They got away from Will Candy. It was actually a decent enough tackle attempt there from Candy. No one was close enough to help him out, but that probably would have been it probably should have been called a forward pass. Probably should have been called a forward pass. But, bro, it's not a crash. Bro, it's not a crash out. 67. I tell you what, I will crash out. The Sharks lose this game with me. Logan Balls says, sure, if the Dolphins win this game, then we add a new tier for the Sharks. No, the Sharks don't get a tier. They go off of the table. I remove them because the Dragons won't win by enough to go above the Sharks over the Roosters. So no matter what, they do get the kick. So it's a 14-12 game here with 8 minutes to go here in the game. 14-12 game here. 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes to go. Jack Lewis says, this game was dead 5 minutes ago. Yeah, not in the scoreboard, but the Dolphins were absolutely knackered and not playing well at all. Surely the Sharks can't blow this. Oh, I've seen it. Oh, if there's a team that can do it, I can tell you it's this team right now. If there is a team that can do it, it's the Cronulla damn well Sharks. Jared Farmer says, it's like Cronulla heard you were potentially going to remove them off scam and decided to remind you why they deserve to be in scam. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You are not incorrect with your decision making. All right, so 8 minutes to go here of the game. The Sharks kick it off, and the Dolphins will get this ball now at the 10. Someone says, come on, the zesty fish. Mate, zesty fish are getting real zesty right now. First tackle for the Dolphins, and they'll be now second tackle at the 25. 7 minutes 50 to go in the game. Okay, now comment again in the chat. Do the Sharks win this game, or do the zesty fish, the kicker can come back and win this game? Do the Sharks, go off of the table? I'm removing them. I will remove them. I won't even show their name or logo on this ladder if they loses. Out to Avarillo. Avarillo to Max Fiane. Fiane with a good run to the 50 on 4 tackles. 7.5 minutes to go. 4 tackle. They give it to Avarillo. It's Sakatoa. Is a chance if the Dolphins. Oh my gosh, they're away. Herbie Farmworth. He gives it off here. Oh my gosh. Dolphins. Oh, they're 15 minutes after the line. Fit tackle. 7 minutes to go. The Sharks are collapsing. The Sharks are collapsing. They're collapsing. The Dolphins out of the right-hand side. Sakatoa, Avarillo flicks the ball off on fit tackle. They kick it through, and that's going to... Oh, my gosh. Oh, I don't know what just happened. I don't know if this is a try or not. I don't think Marshall King scored this. I don't even know why you're smiling, mate. I'm pretty certain it's a knock-on or a dropout. Oh, my gosh. Cronulla, I can't deal with you. You fucking son of a... I just can't believe I watched this from Cronulla. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't watch this team anymore. Why have you forsaken us, Lord? Why have you forsaken us watching this team? Why do we have to sit here and watch this team every week? I can't do it. Oh, it's definitely knock on from Marshall King. I don't know why you're smiling, mate. So that's going to be a 7-tackle set for the Cronulla Sharks. Oh. Dearie me. That's a great play from Toby Rudolph to stop that try. Give him an uppercut. You know, for starters, Will Chambers played for this team. And secondly, now is... Now, that's been the Sharks' majority of the year. I know. That's the problem. That has been the problem, mate. Because the captain goes down with the ship. In my preseason predictions video, I put the Sharks for first place. And they're now in 10th position. And they're nearly throwing away a 14-0 lead to a team with half their team out. Oh, for gosh sake. Don't sink the ship, Cronulla, please. The ship's got holes in it. Massive holes. Second tackle here for Cronulla at the 40. Toby Rudolph, he'll get that short ball. And McInnes, good run, he'll be at the 50. Set distance 45-43. No ending the stream earlier today. It was 42-40, or 42-41 at half time. Blake Brayley, Nico Hines. Hines now, short ball to McInnes. And McInnes is going to be 30 minutes out from the line. 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go of the game. I mean, they are wearing blue. What do we expect? And they are playing the Queensland team. You might not be wrong there, Matt. Oh, knock on by the Dolphins at the 15. If the Sharks score here, you'd probably say it's game over. Blake Brayley gives it. Whoever scores next wins the game. Jesse Ramian. He'll be 11 metres out. Bad knock on there from the Dolphins. You're angry right now, Blaze. I reckon your mum's punched a hole through the TV. She's in the Gold Coast right now, too. She'd be flipping out. She'd be flipping out. I think the TV's gone out on one of the high-rises that she's probably in. TV's gone out the window. I can't blame her. Blake Brayley goes in himself, and he's going to be 2 minutes away from the line. Third tackle, 5 minutes and 37 seconds to go here of the game. They give it to Nico Hines. Hines now to Oregon Kafusi, and Oregon Kafusi is 7 metres away from the line. 4 tackle. Gamer says someone go bald if the Sharks lose, and I mean it. Yeah, well, the Sharks have already made Blitzy, a avid Sharks fan, turn to the Parramatta Eels of all team on this channel, so that tells you what the state of the Sharks is in right now. Fit tackle, 5 minutes away. Blake Brayley gives it Nico Hines, and that's a try, and that should be the game over. Nico Hines has had a good game. He's had a good game, Nico Hines. He's probably been the only Shark who's had a good game. He scored 2 tries today, Nico. Trindle's not been great. Will Candy's had his moments, but Nico is probably going to grab the win despite a comeback looming for the Dolphins. To be fair, the kick is important here. If he gets the kick and makes it 20-12 with 4 minutes 55 to go, then it would be game over. If he misses the kick, it's still a 6-point game. But that all came off the back of the debut winger knocking that ball on there into Vita Nafahu, and the Sharks just were able to put it over the line. Matt says, Nico for Cleary, I'm calling it. Yeah, well, you can keep calling, but I'm not picking up your number. I'm not picking up the phone. You can keep calling Nico for Cleary. I tell you, I'm not picking it up. Nico's not picking it up. No one's picking up your call. The only person who would pick up your call is a voicemail. And I'm turning my voicemail off. I'm turning it off. Blitzy says, good shit, Nico needed that. Hey, Blitzy, don't you try and jump back on the Sharks wagon. What are you doing? You told us you're an Eels fan. Don't you come back here trying to claim the Sharks as your team? Blitzy, we remember. We remember, mate. No, Blitzy's good for his confidence. I don't even know why you're talking about the Sharks. You are not a Sharks fan. No. It's not how it works right here. A gamer says Nico is not good enough for the New South Wales. I think he's good enough. There's no way he's going in over Cleary or Moses. 3 minutes 45 to go here at the game. Really happy with Nico Hines' performance tonight, though. Ibby says, I tipped Dolphins 13 plus, guess not. Why? Hamisa was out. Nikarima was out. They've obviously got no Felice Kafusi, no Flegler, no half their team. And Nico Hines will hit the post and in. That should be the game. Hit the post and in. Why did you have the Dolphins 13 plus, Ibby? Another 20-point conceding game here for the... yeah, that play from Toby Rudolph is actually what won them the game. Toby Rudolph with that stop of that try is what won them the game. Ian Baker says, just a young replacement, can't blame him too much. Who? Can I say that to my dad, Blitz? He'll be so happy. Blitz him up it. Someone says, Sharks had to win a game 1 week. Yeah, look, sometimes you do need to win a game. It's usually the point of rugby league. 2 points better than no points is what they say. As a Titans fan, I don't really know how that works. But, you know, that's what they say, that 2 points is better than no points. As a Titans fan, I've always thought that it was like golf, where the less points that you had, the better. And that's why we've always been at the top of the table. All right, so Sharks now will get this ball to the 50 to Britton Okora. Farnworth going for another strip, and he gets it. And he gets it. It's a one-on-one strip, and he gets the offload away. All right, here we go. Marshall King. Dolphins now at the 50 on first tackle. They have loved a strip today. All the clothes are on for the Dolphins, but they have loved a strip today. Second tackle now for the Dolphins at the 40. Play excuses up the Sharks. Are you happy with this one? And I want you to be honest. Are you happy with this result? Remove the fact of the 2 points. Of course you're happy with the 2 points, but are you happy with how the result has happened in the game? Are you happy with how the Sharks have played? Knock on for the Dolphins, and that, my friends, shall be... No! Yes, it has. Knock on, and it'll be Sharks ball at the 22. Ibby says, don't know anything about the Dolphins other than their one good game against the Dogs. That's why. Well, then, what are you doing betting on them? What... I always find it so odd. We get a lot of people here on these streams who come and say, a lot of Americans will come and say, oh, I bet on this team. Do you think they have a chance? Even though I don't watch rugby league or know what this is, or they call it rugby or whatever. And it's like, then we get Ibby, who's watched one game for the Dolphins against the Dogs, with, mind you, Dogs having 6, 7 players out, and then Dolphins having like 7 players out themselves. That game had a ridiculous amount of injuries and outs with Origin and all that kind of stuff. So you never should have been looking at that Dogs and Dolphins game as like a key telling point for who was going to win any game. And also, if anything, you'd be looking at the Dolphins playing the Dragons, you'd be looking at the Dolphins playing the Rabbitohs, but then again, those teams are very 50-50, which, hey, the Dolphins are all over the shop. Fitz tackling over the Sharks, but the Sharks are more all over the shop. I tipped them by 1 to 12. I thought they were the underdogs. Apparently, they were the favourites. I don't know how, considering they've lost so many games recently, but based off of roster, I guess, is what they've gone with. Anyway, I don't know. Yes, I'm happy. You're happy with how they've played today, Blake? You happy with how the Sharks have played? I'm happy with how Nico has played. I don't know if I'd be happy with how the Sharks have played, but you take the 2 points. You take the 2 points and you run with it. I don't think it's one of those games where you forget it happened. I think there was enough promise there from the Sharks today, but there's not been... Blake Bradley's been solid. Nico Hines has been your best player of the game. He's scored 2 tries. Plus, also, I've loved his ball running. But I wouldn't necessarily be overly impressed with, especially how this last 15 minutes has gone. Because, again, if it wasn't for Toby Rudolph, again, that was a great try-saving play. If Toby Rudolph hadn't have got back there, the Dolphins won the game. Because Sean O'Sullivan, it's an intercept. That's an intercept there. Desperate pass from Donahue. We'll go straight to Teague Wilton. Go for a field goal. Go for a field goal, Sharks. Someone says more stripping than down Caxton Street. Nah, not more stripping than down Caxton Street. Caxton Street on Wednesday night. Blake says, I'm hoping they're with me. No, I know. I'm trying to encourage a response out of you, mate. I'm not. I understand that Sharks fans are going to be happy with 2 points. It's not what I'm asking you. Don't worry about it, man. I'm trying to encourage a response about how you thought of the actual gameplay from the Sharks. I understand that anyone's going to be happy with 2 points. Unless you're the Titans who play for golf. So fit tackle, they're 2 meters away to real. Go for a field goal. Get Jay up and at him. Get Jay up and at him with a field goal here, Sharks. No, they go right inside. No up and at him today, Jay. Oh, Nico Hines. He's been brilliant. Nico Hines has been brilliant today. That try assist there from Nico was absolutely outstanding, and Sione Katoa will score in the wing, and the Sharks are going to win this game either 24-12 or 26-12. Kick coming up here from the sideline, but that pass from Nico Hines was spectacular. Yeah, Nico showed up, that's something. Well, if Nico doesn't show up, they lose this game again, because there's not been a great deal of a performance outside of that, but that pass there from Nico Hines was brilliant. Now, they're still scammed, Tyrox. If they win next week, then I'll take them off scam. Who do they play next week, the Sharks? I'll put them on fraud alert next week if they win, but they're still on scam for the time being. They play the Roosters next week. Yeah, I'll probably be able to take them off scam, put them on fraud alert with a win there. But this was always, like I said before the game, this was always a game that there was way more pressure on the Sharks to win than the Dolphins, in my opinion. Mick Ennis has said it's been a superb performance from the home side. Are you sure? Are you sure, Mick? Were you saying that 10 minutes ago? I don't want to take it off. It's not taken off now, but if the Sharks beat the Roosters next week, Mulatalo and Sione Katoa have the most tries with wing combinations since 1980. Actually, they're tied with the Kiliwate and James McManus from the Knights. But Mulatalo and Sione Katoa, they are one try away from taking the outright lead as the most tries in wing combinations since 1980. All right. Can Nico Hines make it a 13-plus ball game? He will. Coming back, but it will miss, so it will stay as a 24-12 victory here for the Sharks. They win by 12 points, which means they go from -4 to +8. They go from -4 to plus... No, is it? Yeah. No, yeah, it is. +8, which means they go above the Roosters for now. They do not go above Manly because they had the bye. And they go above the Dolphins and they go above the Panthers. So the Sharks will now situate themselves at 7th position, which is equal with Manly and the Broncos on 22 points. Now, the Dolphins will drop out of the 8 here. They will go below Manly and they will go below the Dolphins. And then it just comes down to the Roosters and the Dragons game. If the Roosters beat the Dragons, the Dolphins will finish off this weekend in 10th. If the Roosters lose, then the Dolphins will finish off in 9th. If the Roosters beat the Dragons, then they will stay above they'll stay above the Sharks because they're on +14. So the Sharks would go from 7th position down into 8th position. But the lowest they can finish off this weekend is actually, in fact, in the 8. So the Sharks needed that victory. They do get it home. Nico Hines with an absolutely brilliant performance there. Dolphins, just too many outs there overall. But guys, we will be live tomorrow for 3 games. Let's quickly go through the games that we've got on. So the Newcastle Knights versus the Storm. We also have the Dragons versus the Roosters and the Cowboys versus the Bulldogs. We'll be live for all 3 games tomorrow. So obviously hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.